We're Gucci up in here.
How's life? How's everything going?
Yeah, it's just been pretty busy.
How about that AFL Grand Final though?
It was garbage, dude. Oh my god.
We went to my friend's house.
Yeah.
And he was supporting Sydney. I was like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
After the first quarter, it was like, so you guys want to like go out or like what's the plan?
Yeah, there's real no point watching after that point.
It was rough. Like rough.
Yeah. It was just an awful game, and it's annoying because that's the last couple grand finals been like that too.
It's a shame because like you expect the grand final to have like a contest and be like close, at least ideally.
Yep.
But like Jesus, like that's such a blowout.
They blew him out of the water. Like the game was over at halftime.
Oh yeah.
GG.
And I was promised Delta Goodrum at halftime by my friends. Nah, she was pre-show. Like what?
Yeah, I missed it too.
My babe, where is she? She's not here. But you also hear of like all the shenanigans of like if you didn't have antenna like plugged into your TV for like free to air, you had to pay to watch the game via Telstra TV. But Telstra was essentially rebroadcasting the footage from Prime. So even though you paid for it, you were still getting ads.
Oh my god.
So I was like, what?
Yeah, the broadcast of the grand final was a mess. I know that one of my other friends was having some issues with on their end. Like the actual game was not broadcasting properly. Like they were having heaps of fuzziness on their
Oh, we did too.
Broadcast.
Yeah.
It was bullshit. Yeah, it was just insane.
Not a fan.
No. So, and the game was terrible. The broadcast was terrible. It was just bad.
It wasn't fun for a grand final weekend like that. Like, I mean, Geelong.
Yeah.
They're living it up.
Yeah, dude. I saw one of the players with his premiership medallion. He went to like, I think it was a family farm or his farm or whatever, and he put one of his medallions on the cow. He's like, I'll just give it to the cow. We'll get it in the morning. Man, dude, they'd all be drunk as fuck.
A cow just runs off, never to be seen again, loses it. Like, oh no.
Bruh. Imagine that.
We had we watched the final and we had like an engagement party afterwards.
Yeah.
One of the bro, I cringed so hard. One of the guys pulled up to the engagement. This is like a cocktail attire. Like, we're all dressed up.
Yeah.
Guy pulled up, jeans, polo shirt, and then like the Geelong scarf around his neck. And I'm like, brother, are you fucking? I was like, are you fucking serious, man? Come on, dog.
Yikes!
I was like, it ain't that deep. It really, it's not that deep, man. You should not be doing that at all.
Massive yikes!
And I was just like, I'm not talking to that guy. He seems like a psychopath. You know, it is a massive yikes though.
What's that?
Another episode of GGP.
Oh, of course.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 77. I think I did ourselves a disservice there by saying that GGP was a massive yikes. What I was meant to say was Film Red banners were a massive yikes. But nonetheless, we're here. You have the dynamic duo of Toadski and myself, Captain Papi.
Indeed. We are here today.
Flames late, Knights late. But, you know, you have the two goobers with the other two goobers. Combine the 4 brain cells of GGP. You have half the brain power today, which is fantastic. But it is a Treasure Cruise episode, and I want to preface this by saying we are recording a week earlier than we generally would. So most likely we're going to be missing out on the information for the preceding banner. So the end of September banner, if there is one. So look forward to that in a future episode. We'll be discussing
currently recording on the 25th.
Yeah, so 24th PST, 25th Australian time, if you want to call it that too. But there's still plenty of controversial news, as I would like to call it. Plenty of things to get into there. It is another Treasure Cruise app, so, you know, strap yourselves in for another doozy. I guess we'll just jump right into it with the Film Red banner part 3.
Oh boy.
Are you excited? Are you gassed for a 3rd Super Sugo Fest in a row?
The structure of this whole event is just
crazy,
awful.
right?
I don't know why they would think creating 3 separate Super Sugos was a good idea. I mean, r- financially,
revenue
it is a
wise,
good
a
idea,
dream, right? It's a
but
masterpiece.
the fact that they did this, I mean, I don't think people would have been as mad if they actually gave us stuff to do.
Oh yeah,
That was probably the biggest issue.
I think if with every banner that came out, there should have been at least a point farming event. You know,
Yeah, point
just
farm event, a
should have been
clash
something.
arena, like something like that,
Yeah.
along with every banner would be wicked. And I guess the side thing to Part 3 was like this is basically the treasure map Sugo Fest.
Yeah.
So it's like, you get the
Yeah.
units, they're really good for the treasure map.
Which made the banner
Still.
a little better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The fact that TM characters or TM legends in previous boosters were pullable.
Yeah.
Like it's always it added a little bit extra to it. Overall, which I thought was great.
Well, it's really good because not everyone has the gems to legit just pull on like every banner.
Every
that
banner,
comes out.
exactly right.
And those restricted pool characters that are only on TMs or Kizuna or whatever, yeah, they're pretty exclusive. Like not all the players are going to pull for those types of units. So if people are going to pull on a Super Sugo Fest, which not only has the Super Sugo Fest units, but also these restricted TM characters, like it's out of all of the TM, out of all the Super Sugo Fests, like this was probably one of the most valuable ones to pull on because of that reason.
Yeah.
But you also have the fact that you had Luffy, and Luffy is definitely not on the same level as Uta. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great segue for us to jump right into the two legends. So now again, another two legends, which it's a lot, man. Like I'm actually gonna check what the new stats are for legends released. I think I don't know if it's changed at all or whatever the case is, but I don't know if I've even updated it myself. Let's see here. What do we got? Okay, it is in Film Red Luffy, Usopp, Yasopp. So we are currently so still relatively the same. It's about since New Year's 6.9 days per legend.
That's stupid.
And then since the start of the game, 14.5 days per legend. So on average, since the conception of the game, we've had a legend every fortnight. Or right now, it's a legend a week, which is just bonkers in its own right.
Yeah, that's way too much. Like it should be 14 days.
I think at a minimum, if you want to release a legend frequently, I reckon every fortnight is enough. Like I think it's more than enough. Like, but I still wish that it was like once a month you get like two legends, like two really good legends.
It's because we have the regular month batches releasing 2 legends per batch.
Yep.
And then you have like maybe 1 to 2 restricted pool units per month as well. So yeah, it does add up to being a lot. And if you add 2 restricted characters and then 2 regular batch legends, that equates to 4 per month, 1 per week.
Yeah.
And then that's you have at a minimum. Sometimes there are more, sometimes there are less.
Exactly right. Like that's at a minimum too, right? That's like if we're talking about like the average for the game, that's at a pure minimum. But it's in events like this where you're getting 2 legends every like 10 days, more or less, and then like who knows what's gonna happen if there's gonna be a 4th part. I mean, we'll get into the 6+ Uta stuff a little later, but like who knows what's gonna happen with that release as well. Like there could be something else that comes alongside things. Like
exactly.
There's a lot there. But before we jump into carries, I did want to ask you, how did your pools go? How did everything run? Like how'd you go? Like did you get new characters? Like what was your situation here?
Yeah, actually the pools went relatively well. Actually, I don't even remember how my pools went, but I know that it didn't take me that long to get the whole batch. Like I ended up getting Usopp Yasopp first. I think it took me 10 multis, I think.
Wow.
On part 1.
On part 1 too. Which is good.
Yeah, and then I think the 10th, like the last pull I did, got me the Luffy on part 1.
Yep. That was a crazy stream.
Yeah.
That was gas.
That worked out pretty well. And ended up getting all the rare recruits as well, which was definitely nice for the treasure map.
Oh yeah,
nice to have all of those.
Treasure map. Treasure map was shit.
Well, did you pull it all?
I did actually. I was super duper lucky. I got Snakeman in the first multi on part 2.
That's right.
Which is insane. They released the tangentially the bullet thing is in the
news.
Cool.
They did.
Not that it matters, but it is what it is. But I got very lucky. I got Snake in the first. But I'm still missing Izo and Kiku.
Oh.
So no, I did it on part 1 actually. I take that back. So I was like, I'm still missing Izo, Kiku, and I continued going, went to the 6th, got nothing else. Fair enough. You know, because the 6th step I believe was a guaranteed rate boosted. Yeah. And like the first, in all honesty, like if we're gonna talk about banners, like these banners are dog shit. But at least the part 1 was like rate boosted. Then it was like 4 legend steps in a row. Then it was rate boosted legend. So it's
like the first handful of steps on part 1 are actually really good.
Yeah, I agree. So like I was like, oh okay, I'll send the rest of them because there's a chance I can get one of the characters I'm missing. Didn't hit it, which is fine. I got Rare Recruit Sanji, which ended up being super useful for the treasure map in itself, which I was very pleased to have there. You know, so overall, pretty satisfied. I mean, getting Snake. I mean, Snakeman's really good.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool legend.
And I think that's our great segue here to jump into him. Let me just scroll up 30 hours because there's been that many characters that.
When we talk about characters these days, I usually just pull up the banner in game and then like have a look at the characters.
That's such a smart idea, actually. Damn, that's why we don't pay you, actually, as a matter of fact. So like, it's
no, not at all.
All right, so Snakeman, he is a fighter, free spirit, super type character. He does have a final tap. His captain ability boosts Psi, fighter, and free spirit characters by 5x, boosts their attack by 5.5 in the turns where his special is used. If Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, Nami, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, Jinbei, or Shanks is a crewmate and they use a special, completely removes the character's special bind and sets character special to max. This effect can be activated up to 5 times in a quest, 3 times in a total run. His special, which is an essay, deals 200x character attack in typeless damage to all enemies, ignoring defensive effects. He boosts fighter and Psi fighter free spirit attack by 3.25 for 1 turn. If the crew has an attack status when the special is launched, boosts Psi fighter and free spirit character slot effect by 2.75 for 1 turn. If the crew has an attack and or boost, changes all slots including block into matching, and further increases the attack and or boost by plus 0.25. If the character has used the special 4 times or more, and the crew does not have an attack status, boost Psi fighter and free spirit character slots by 2.75 for 1 turn. His support ability is just a 13% stats, and the super type. So when you have 2 of the following, so Straw Hats or Shanks, deals 120x character attack in non-type damage to all enemies, reduces crewmates' special charge by 2 turns, and changes Psi to Super Psi. Interesting character. Oh, and the final tap, that's right. So final tap at level 5 is boost character's base attack by plus 2000, and this stacks with the normal effect, and then makes the normal attacks hit all enemies for 1 turn. So you get AoE, and you get base attack boost.
Yeah.
At level 1, for most people, it's going to be 750 base attack boost.
Like, this character is not worth leveling the final
tap for. Not at all.
Absolutely
Once again, we've just, like, it's the same thing that happened with, what's their names? The V2 Straw Hats. Same thing that's happened with, like, versus units. Bandai's realized, like, oh, we've made the pinnacle of this character. We're never making them again. We cannot match that pinnacle, you know? So it kind of makes sense. But
the only way final taps would be if they do like rainbow damage,
yep,
plus something else or something, like that would be the only way to compete, I would think.
I think if they like, I get like the Straw Hats is very unique because it does like 1.2x the damage plus goes through everything. I think like even if something wasn't like that much damage, but the final tap went through like NAO, went through like barrier, went through like resilience and that kind of stuff, I think you'd have a pretty good final tap there as well. In order to match at least. But Snakeman's kit, how do you vibe with this legend, is the 3rd Super Sugo Fest unit overall.
The unit is very interesting, and the character is so focused around using Straw Hats or Shanks on your crew.
Yep.
Which is kind of fascinating. He's got that unique ability of any time one of the Straw Hats or a Shanks uses a special, he completely recharges his own special so that you can, use his attack boost or boost full border slots and buffing your attack and all boost in 1 turn. That's a really cool gimmick. I don't see myself using this guy too much, honestly.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if he gave like cooldown in his captain as well. I think that would have been really cool.
Or in the
Make him a bit more of a
special.
speed farm. Yeah,
I
it's a
think
good point.
that's what I always missed from him. Because, like, I remember there was a few times when I was using the unit, I was like, okay, I'm just going to pop his special, get some cooldown. And I'm like, oh, wait, no. The cooldown comes from, you know, using his super type. Which, mind you, is a rainbow two-turn, like, cooldown. Which is fantastic. But I think I echo what you're saying. Like, I feel like it's tough. Especially because, like, there's the cliche of, like, there's always going to be another Luffy legend. There are always going to be more Straw Hat rare recruits that come out. Like, it's a constant cycle for them to be going through. So it's hard to... Like, Uta's so unique. And, like, she's just an utterly fantastic legend. But we... Like, the sad reality is that we know that there's another Luffy coming out at some point in time. But there may never be another Uta that comes out ever again. So, like, you always have this constant, like, sway back and forth, I suppose, more than anything.
I guess that, like, that's the thing with, like, these Luffy legends that come out. Like, they really need to be unique, because if they're just like the same unit rehashed, then, like, no one really gives a fuck.
Speaking of unique, what do you think about the whole recharging special through units, like, and then the fact that it removes all of his special bind as well?
Well, yeah, that's like a really cool gimmick, and if he didn't have that, this character would be trash. Like, it makes sense why he has this like gimmick, but removing his own special bind, like, I feel like that's kind of pointless, because there aren't that many circumstances where that's
it's very like, I don't understand what circumstances you're meant to use it in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like, I get they can build content around, like, just special binding your captains, like, but
wouldn't you
normal
just have
content?
But, like, I guess, yeah, that makes sense, because then technically you don't need to bring a unit that removes special bind. You just need to bring a Straw Hat. Like, I get that, but, like, it just still feels weird. That it, I don't know, because I remember when you said it initially, I was like, oh no, like, you're wrong. Like, in my head, I was like, no, it's actually a really good mechanic. But then when I thought about it a bit more, I was like, nah, that actually is kind of dumb. Like, I was like, it doesn't make much sense why you'd have, like, it would have been, maybe, like, it would have been cool if it was, like, I don't know if we've ever had a buff like it, but, like, maybe it would have been cool if it was, like, if a character that they use, if a Straw Hat uses a special that removes special bind, he adds X amount of turns onto that special bind removal. Something weird like that could have been interesting, I suppose. But, I don't know, it's a weird mechanic to have it specifically on the captain.
Because, like, this Snakeman, I don't see myself using him a lot, because, like, when you look at, like, Super Tandem Luffy, he's a beast. That Super Tandem effect is just absolutely insane at level 5. And you got Luffy Crew, obviously, and they've got the best final tap. But then, like, you got this Luffy, and I don't think this Luffy provides as much uniqueness as, like, some of the other Luffys and what they can do. And there is some cool instances where you can use him, like, hypothetically, if you have to run, like, a boosted event, and a lot of the boosted units are Straw Hats, and, like, you have them, you can have, like, this Luffy be the captain. He automatically gets his cooldown charge whenever one of those units uses a special, and you can build really cool teams with him.
Totally.
But another thing is that his captain ability literally just gives you an attack boost, and that's it. Like, no damage reduction, healing, matching slots for cooldown.
There's no...
It's literally just an attack boost.
No HP is kind of scary. Like, a little bit intimidating that there's no HP in his captain ability. Like, it's... Like, I get it. Like, I mean, to be fair, like, the Whale Shark ship kind of has carried... Like, it's actually such a great ship. Again, that extra plus 10,000 HP to, like, any crew or any kind of units you have. But... And, like, I don't know how, like... Again, I don't understand the reasoning. Because... I get, like, that Zoro and Sanji are, like, they play with the whole idea of, like, reducing HP and then being able to proc their special again kind of deal. So is the whole point of him not having HP is that he wants you to beat a low HP threshold so you can heal back up to then pop those specials again at full core? Or is, like, what's the deal there is kind of what I wonder.
I think no HP makes sense for the Sanji and Zoro rare recruits because of their health cut thingy-majiggy that they have. If you get despair, that kind of screws you over. But, like, even just damage reduction would have been cool or something like that. I don't know.
I would have liked it, like, if it played into, like, the whole, like because I believe the Zoro and Sanji's, like, reduces your HP by 50%, like procs their ability, right?
He does have pinch healing.
That is good.
Yeah.
What I would have
healing in his captain too would have been nice.
Yeah, like what I would have liked is like in his captain it says if you are 50% or below, like damage reduction or like something. So then like it plays into the whole idea of having these rare recruits reduce your HP as well. Kind of like would have made more sense, but I mean, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Like a huge damage reduction below 50%. Yeah,
because like
that makes sense.
Then you would have dropped. Then you like pop a Zoro Sanji special, you drop yourself below 50, and then you get like let's say like an 80% damage reduction. I know that's a lot, but just like as a hypothetical, 80% damage reduction means you can take a lot of damage, and be kind of safe in that.
And that would mean if you had double Luffy, it'd be 160% damage reduction.
Man's on it. Actual genius level tactics.
Yo, nice.
Welcome, Knight.
Hi.
Speaking of genius level tactics,
yeah, the goat. He's here.
Exactly.
But like, I mean, what about what about the special? How do you feel about the whole notion of like pop the special, recharge, pop the special, recharge, pop the special kind of deal to get your maximum boost out of everything?
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck. I'll tell you that. It's really annoying to use.
It's long, brother. It's fucking long,
but what you get out of it is really good. Like one unit providing all of these buffs is nuts.
These would be the highest buffs to an entire crew, correct?
3.5 attack, 3 times orbs. Is it 3 times orbs? It's like
I think it would cap at 3 times orbs. I don't think there's any 3.5x attack boosts that go to a like not just like a specified unit or units. It's like the whole team.
Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Like I think I looked it up.
Toki, but like Toki's the 2
I think I looked it up. It's like the Hakuba form of Cavendish does it to himself. Right. The Toki does it to 2 units. So I think Snake is like the highest attack booster to like a crew, I guess, for lack of a better word.
And then the tandem Luffy would be the biggest orb booster, I think. Because I think he goes to 3.25 or 3.5 orbs after his super class.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's great. Like, look, like,
He's
it's
good.
gimmicky, and it's like a little frustrating to like proc it, but like,
but again, it's one of these units that you don't really need double Snakeman. Like one Snakeman can like get you through in a lot of cases.
Exactly right. Like I think we are still very much in the hybrid meta of things. I think we're very heavy hybrid meta. So I feel like
too bad the friends list is kind of hard.
Oh, the same captain list is straight broken, which is unfortunate.
It's hard.
But I really do hope that that's getting actioned and being tinkered out. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I love the fact that it's like there's a lot of buffs, a lot of damage, and you get matching orbs, but on the 3rd proc, which is like a lot. I feel like I would have liked it if it was I guess maybe it's being a bit greedy, but maybe on the 1st proc it's like changes like slots into matching, but changes like colored orbs into matching. So like if you had a tandem where you had a recovery or a block or a bomb, it wouldn't change those, but it would change every other orb into matching potentially.
Yeah, there's good and bad to both sides for
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. But I think we'll leave it at that, I suppose, and then here's Rumble stats. Mind you, I think like I saw it on the subreddit. I know I was on the subreddit, right? I saw it on the subreddit earlier today, but somebody made a great post. They're like, I know we keep bashing on Bandai, but we have to give them props on the sprites of these units because on the real ski and like the animations and stuff too, Bandai have popped off. Like if we're being sincere here and honest, like all the units just look incredible. Like they look amazing. The arts are great. Like the sprites and animations all look fantastic too. Like it's really good. So I'm you got to give credit where credit's due, I suppose. But
I can't argue with that.
It's his kit. So he is a fighter free spirit, as we've said. He's special at max CT of 33. Targets side teammates for attack up level 5 for 20 seconds. Attack up level 5 for 20 seconds. Defense up level 5 for 20 seconds. Targets self to activate provoke for 30 seconds. And he heals 300 HP per healing interval for 30 seconds. And his rumble ability is side teammates get attack up level 6, guard percent up level 6, HP up level 6.
Bro, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
He
Why
is shit.
why
He is ass.
Snakeman so defensively focused?
He is
it makes
ass.
0 sense.
If they made a Tank Man legend and then they made him defensively focused, fantastic. But this is Snakeman. This is like his attack form.
This is like the most offensive form of Gear 4.
And he's like, nah, man, let's heal. Let's self-provoke. Like, what? What are you doing, man? It's so weird, man. I don't know. What goes on?
It's annoying because like the rumble ability is actually like not bad at all.
Exactly.
Like, that's an amazing rumble ability.
It's very strong. Guard up, HP up, attack up, but then like
the guard up actually guard up prevents some fixed damage stuff too.
Yeah, it reduces fixed damage, like how much you take from fixed damage, which is great, you know. But the fact that how does he not do damage in his special?
It's so weird.
Where would you use him? Like the side team's already pretty like stacked as it is.
I've been trying to use him on my side teams currently. And
who have you replaced?
I took out because I had Luffy crew, the side Luffy crew, and I put him on there instead. And like he's fine.
Yep.
Because like you got Odin and Yamato, which
they do a lot of
damage anyway.
Yeah.
But like you just don't need him. Like it's like it's cool if you have him, but like definitely not. I wouldn't say he's like optimal in a side team.
No, he's not meta side team. 100%. I agree with you there. So kind of upsetting.
The problem is his CT so high. If his CT was like mid to low 20s, I would actually really like this guy because he does give an attack and defense buff as well.
Attack, defense, provokes himself, and HP healing for himself, I believe.
If he was like 20 to 25,
I would
guy
say
would actually be pretty good.
say if it was 25 and then those buffs lasted 20 seconds as well.
Yeah.
So you just constantly just keep rebuffing for the whole fight. Incredible. But 33 is a lot.
It's too much.
It's too high. So I don't know,
so,
man.
Knight, have you read the Snakeman, and do you have any thoughts and opinions on Mr. Snakeman?
Yeah, I've read the Snakeman. I'm just mad I didn't get him yet. So.
Whoa! Is that Knight's playing Treasure Cruise? Question mark.
Yeah, maybe.
How did you feel about Snake though? Like overall, as a Super Sugo Fest unit?
Overall, I think he's pretty cool. I like that he has like the ability to like recharge his special when like Straw Hat uses like a special. I think that is pretty cool in itself. It's like a new gimmick, which is always really nice to have. Like new gimmick characters are always like the pretty fun ones, like most of the time, even though it might not always be as reliable as the old faithful characters. But I feel like he like works as both an old faithful character and then like a fun little gimmick character as well.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
But I like him.
And that's the thing as well, is the boosts that Snakeman provides with his special are so high that you can actually get away with running really shit characters on your crew.
Yeah.
Right.
You can run a lot of utility characters to get through shit and just bing, 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 like, you know.
Like one of the teams I was using to showcase him was like the strength Usopp where he like ate like the hot thing and he's like the thing where he scared sugar.
Was it like one of the PvP? No, it was one of the TM ones or PvP ones.
Yeah, it was like a TM.
Yeah, it was a TM Dofi reward.
Yeah, I ended up using him because he removes beneficial effects, and I needed it for one of the quests. And like, just randomly using a character like that, like it's terrible, but it recharges.
It's cool though,
special.
You know, it's cool. Yeah. Like it's a unique thing. That's what we love about Treasure Cruise. It's like being able to just like, I need this specific like buff or debuff or combination of things. Oh wow, this random ass unit can do it, and it benefits me in this situation. Like, it's kind of a great feeling when that kind of happens.
Yeah,
but. We've dilly-dallied enough. Lads, the hopefully final Super Sugo Fest of the Film Red, the Film Red celebration.
One next week.
Is that confirmed from Yoshi-san, as you do have insider knowledge?
Yeah, Yoshi and Craig let me know.
Yoshi and Craig. Craig's on the dev team now. He stepped away from recording the GGP podcast.
I forgot about Craig.
Craig's on the dev team now.
Wow, about Craig? That's crazy.
He stepped up in the world. He used to help us record. Now he's now developing the game. So, you know, more power to Craig. And what'd you give it out of 10, though, overall? Snakeman.
9. 9.
I was
Nine?
gonna say like 8.5, 9, and probably 9 actually, because he's like, look, on an abstract sense, he's actually a really, really good like legend. Like he's incredibly powerful. He's gonna have value, but I think the way that you described it, Todd, it's like it's gonna be hard to justify using him a lot of the time. I feel like because like I think Super Tandem Luffy has undergone like the hype to the decline to like the plateau of like this character is really fucking good kind of deal. So I think that, you know, Super Tandem Luffy kind of, if you were to compare both of them, because they are both Super Sugo Fest exclusive legends, I'd probably say that Super Tandem Luffy is better than Snakeman, like this Snakeman legend. So I guess that's kind of like how I would picture it more or less. Like I'd much rather use Super Tandem Luffy.
Is way too broken.
It is. It's fucked.
Like, the thing is like, I feel like the Super Tandem Luffy doesn't get really good until you get into level 4, though.
Yes, I agree.
Whereas, like, this guy is going to be as good at level 5 as he is at level 1.
Yes.
Which I guess is kind of nice.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Something that we kind of predicted, though. Usopp and Yasopp legend.
Yeah, it made sense for there to be a Yasopp legend.
So we have an shooter free spirit on both sides, and they are a Psy Usopp and a quick Yasopp legend. Their Caption ability boosts shooter and free spirit characters by 5.25, HP by 1.3, makes their Psy and quick slots have matching slot effects, boosts the crew's chance of landing on Psy and quick orbs, and when taking damage from the enemy, delays all enemies by 1 turn, and this ignores immunity to status effects. Their special boosts shooter and free spirit characters' base attack by 1250 for 1 turn, and boosts the damage dealt to delayed enemies by 2.25 for 1 turn. If there are delayed enemies when the special's launch, extends the duration of delay by 1 turn, delays all enemies by 1 turn, ignoring immunity to delay or status effects if the captain is a shooter or free spirit class, and becomes Usopp and Yasopp for 3 turns.
And their switch?
And there's... Brother, I forgot. We haven't had Switch Legend in 10 years, lad. Where are we at here? How do I even find it? Here it is. Their switch at, I believe, level 1, or like just the base, applies minus 15% shooter and free spirit resistance to all enemies for 1 turn, and changes the character's slot to matching, and completely removes the character's paralysis and despair, And then at super switch level, applies negative 30% of negative 30% resistance to shoot and free spirit to all enemies for 1 turn, changes character's slot and adjacent slots to matching, and completely removes paralysis and despair on themselves. And that's at 6 turns, that super switch. 6 switches.
Yeah, 6 is pretty steep.
Pretty rough, but...
Yeah.
Wow. Another banger.
This is a very interesting character.
Another banging legend that was the side legend. What was it? Beckman and Lucky Roo?
Yeah.
Incredible. These guys, pretty fucking good too.
These guys are interesting because this is another character that I don't see myself using too much, but I like that their special provides some very unique things.
Yes. Like
base attack and then a delayed conditional that is guaranteed to hit.
Yep.
Like that's
incredible, right?
Pretty good. Like that's some unique buffs, and this is going to be a really key unit in like lots of Kizunas.
I was just about to say, because I remember I watched a Coruscant video, and he was like bringing up a bunch of the characters that were like super valuable in Kizuna, and he was like, this unit and Ulti Page 1 are like unsung. Like these guys are going to be used in every team going forward, pretty much.
And especially with the new Brook support that came out, the fact that they can attach to this guy,
perfection for this unit. I mean,
like
naturally.
A 1.1 chain multiplicative buff that stacks with like every other regular chain boost you might have. Like
exactly.
Whew,
and you get the little 2 turns of attack down as well. You know, not to be
3.
Fuck, Jesus Christ, 3 turns of attack down even too. So like, you know, that's a lot when in the grand scheme of things.
And then especially when you count for their swap as well, applying resistance down, and the fact that it's minus 15 or minus 30 to 2 classes.
Lot. That's a lot.
This character has both, so it's like a 1.6 boost essentially.
That's
or it's actually more because it's like 1.3 times by 1.3. It's a lot. Yeah,
mad. 1.69. Quick maths.
Yes, it is.
Damn.
But the only thing that I don't like is the captain. I mean, I don't like using dual units as a captain in general, to be honest.
What are their base their base captains are
4.75.
4.75, and Usopp makes psi matching, and then I'm assuming it's 4.75 makes quick matching. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that's
Ace
another
Rail
thing as well,
1.3.
is that why would you use this guy as a captain when
No.
you literally have Ben Beckman and Lucky Roo?
Literally incredible legend. But
Right?
like,
He's so
Beckman and
broken.
Lucky Roo just got, shooters just got like nice buffs. Very
Yeah.
strong buffs. They still need utility, but he's not bad. like not bad.
At least Beckman and Lucky Roo offset some of the utility with them removing defensive effects. So
Correct.
it means you in most cases you don't have to bring defensive effect removal with Ben Beckman.
Yep.
Which is kind of sick. But yeah, this character's interesting. I really would have hoped that there was maybe something else in their special as well, because it's just base attack and the delayed conditional. That's all they give you.
Yep.
They're not a damage dealing special as well, which may hurt in some cases. But overall, I think this character is just like super solid. I probably wouldn't rank them like super high because I feel like I'm only going to use them in Kizuna in most cases.
They're another ulti page one. It is how I kind of see them, right?
Right.
Like ulti page one. Like they're just a fantastic character, you know.
It's a good way of putting it, for sure.
Exactly, like because ulti page one, like I'm not like being honest, I'm not gonna bring them to regular content. If I'm finding a new Coliseum or an arena or like a point of time event, I'm not bringing them. But in the context of a Super Kizuna, like currently right now, having them chain boundary, self-proc and conditional, board of orbs. Like, they're incredible.
It makes a difference.
You know, it adds so much more damage. And these guys basically do the same thing. Base attack boost, self-proc conditional, like their super switch allows for some, you know, adjacent in them, so 4 orbs, and then resistance as well, which is like even a cherry on top of the damage output that they provide.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna be sublime for Super Kizunas going forward. But I agree with you. Will I use them in regular content? I'm not trying to delay things in regular content. I'm just trying to go fast, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't say that they lose value in that sense, but I guess that, like, this unit is more tailored towards the Super Kizuna kind of gameplay style, more or less. It's how I feel about the unit overall.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page. What about you, Knight?
I was just gonna say, I think that they're like a better character that I think of, like when I think of them as like Nami Usopp. Like Nami Usopp is like, they're not, from what I've seen, they're not used too often, but like when they can be used, they can go kind of crazy. So they're like a super buffed version of them.
I'd agree with you there, actually, if I'm being honest with you. I think that's a good way of thinking about it, if we're being real. All right.
But I like that they buff shooters.
Yeah, they needed it desperately.
100%.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a shame that the Chopper, the Beckman, and this guy cannot be pulled currently from like normal tickets. But I assume after the end of the film Red event, they'll probably be put into.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so, because it would be kind of heartbreaking if they were like a weirdly done Super Sugo Fest, but not Super Sugo Fest unit kind of thing. I don't think that's gonna be the case, because that'd be kind of weird. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see, because this banner still runs until October, like end of October. So like, there's still a lot of time until we get the answers on those questions, I suppose. But their Rumble kit.
Yep.
Their ability level 5 is shooter teammates get attack up level 6, speed at level 6, HP at level 6. And their special, which is on a 28 CT, is targets 3 enemies with 100% special CT for 100% chance of... Targets 3 enemies with 100% special CT for 100% chance of half stats for 15 seconds. Targets 3 driven class enemies for 100% chance of special bind for 8 seconds. And targets 3 enemies for 2500 fixed damage.
Yeah, I like it. This guy's really interesting. it is kind of weird when you just compare like even this unit to the Super Sugo Luffy.
Yes.
This guy's on a 28 CT, 5 lower than Luffy, and he has this special.
Like an infinitely better, not infinitely better, but a really, really good special.
It's
Like,
so much better.
it's, I think it's, so I didn't pull the unit, and I think you've tested it out.
Yep.
I believe. How does so like targets 3 enemies with 100% CT. So does that mean that when an enemy is ready to launch special, when this character pops their special, it hits him with half stats?
Correct.
That's fucking sick.
It's very good because a lot of the shooters don't have heavy damage dealing effects. So being able to halve their stats so that your damage is increased, because they have that half defense is very good. And shooters aren't the best team in terms of their bulk either. So you're also reducing their attack, which is great. And if you're for some reason up against driven enemies, you can special bind them, and it's 100% chance too. That's really cool. So against New Uta, for example, versus a Kainu, super type Kaido. I mean, there's a lot of characters you can hit with this. And then you've got the guaranteed 2500 fixed damage. Like this, it's just a super solid special. And if you're building a shooter team, you want this guy. You want Beckman for sure. I haven't pulled the new Kizaru from the Rumble rare recruit banner. I'm sure he would work quite well with these guys too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But it is a little bit weird that we had this character release when the month prior we had the Pyro Rumble banner with that Usopp.
I fucking hate, but like
it doesn't make sense,
man. But it's also what still pisses me off is that Usopp boosted cerebral characters. Like I kind of get why, I suppose, because they're going to release this legend.
Wait, what did he do?
I think he boosted. He was a cerebral jabroni. I'm fairly certain.
He's a shooter-free spirit, and he boosts shooters. Shooter attack 6, HP 6.
That's what it was. 6. We were complaining that everything that came out that month was cerebral. Yeah, and he boosted shooters. Right. Okay.
It's so annoying because I'd actually love to try this. I'd love to try this Usopp alongside the other shooters, but you can't.
That makes it even worse then. Yeah.
And a lot of people made a really good opinion. Like they should have said like Usopp should have been on the regular banner and then make Nami or Robin the cerebral Rumble rare recruit. Like that would make so much more sense because cerebral need Rumble rare recruits.
They do. They really do.
That would have made so much more sense. But no, they're backwards.
I don't know what goes on. You know, throwing darts at a dartboard and seeing what sticks. I suppose
it feels that way sometimes.
But it's overall great kit, great Rumble kit though. So it's gonna be a maybe shooter's coming. It's finally gonna get its stead. I suppose
they need a little bit more, but yeah, they're getting there.
They're getting there. All right, what do you guys think overall? This one was kind of short and sweet because, to be honest with you, their captain and special are very not basic, but very like streamlined, very simple, very like here's what you get. There's no like finicky mechanics. It's very straightforward. So what would you give Usopp and Yasopp out of 10?
8.3.
I would say 8.5 myself as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say like a 8.
There we go. What I will now do, I'm going to chuck in a random segment here. Now that we have kind of passed through the 3 Super Sugo Fests, we've had 3 banners. We've had Uta and Chopper. We've had Shanks and Beckman Lucky Root. And we've had Snakeman and Usopp Yasopp. How would you rank the quote-unquote batches? And then how would you rank the 3 Super Sugos and 3 non-Super Sugos, if that makes sense?
Okay.
So the 3 batches. How do we place the 3 parts, I suppose I should say.
So you've got your Robin, Brooke, and Nami. Then you've got your Gordon, Sunny, and
Blue No Kobe.
All right, Blue No Kobe, and then Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei. That's a tough one because there's really good ones and there's like average ones in all of them. I think if like hypothetically, if someone said to you, you can only have one of these batches of rare recruits and you don't get the rest of them, which one would you want to pick?
That's a good question.
And the one that I would probably go for is probably still I don't know. I was going to say the first batch because Brooke is like so OP.
So how about we encompass everything? So the 3 rare recruits plus the 2 legends that came out with them too. So the whole part. So
Right.
how would you rank
Yeah.
part 1 versus part 2 versus part 3, I suppose?
It's it's kind of annoying because like Uta's just so much better than everything else
It
that is
is.
released in this celebration that you have to say part 1.
I would say part 1's the top as well, is how I'd feel about it.
But like I think there's definitely good and bad to all the parts for sure. Because
Yep.
like I think Nami
Right.
Recruit sucks. I think Robin is a little too situational, but she's not bad. Brooke is OP. Uta's godly. Chopper I think is actually insane too.
I agree. Yep. I agree with everything you've said there. 100%.
And then you got like the second part where you're like Shanks, he's going to be very good in Strength Super Boss as we've seen in the Kizuna.
Yes.
Beckman is kind of nuts. Sunny's fine. Kobe and Bluno are a little too situational. They're
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
And then Gordon is okay. He's alright. He's solid.
Yep.
Like that part is like just meh. It's
Yep.
so annoying coming from part 1 and like, oh,
Like,
we're
don't
leading
know
into
that.
part 2, but like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna be godly. Can't wait for Shanks. He's gonna be amazing. And it's like, oh, you know, they're good. They're fine.
Kind of deal. And then part 3.
Yeah, and then part 3, you got like Snakeman, who's he's solid, and then like you got Usopp Yasopp, another solid character. And Zoro and Sanji, I don't know how often I'm going to use those characters just because of their weird gimmicks of halving
Yep.
HP and then using double special and stuff. Like it's just weird.
Yep.
Jinbei, I actually kind of like. He's probably going to see a
Jinbei's
bit
cool.
of play.
I think Jinbei's sick.
Another like probably on the same level. Like you know these characters are good, but they're probably not going to be used all the time. Whereas like Uta's a character that I can see people using all the time because of how OP she is. So. Part 1, just because of Uta and how good she is.
Yeah.
Like, if Uta was the same level as, like, Shanks and Snakeman, then you've got a bit more of an argument. But, like, Uta's so far ahead that it's just... I feel like there's not even an argument.
I think part 1, part 3, part 2.
I'd say... Yeah, like, hypothetically, if you had nothing...
Yeah.
And you're saying which part to pull on? Part
Yeah.
1, yeah. And then...
I would say part 3, because I just think Snake Man's kit is really good. Like...
Yeah, I think Shanks is probably not going to see as much play, but when you do need him, like, he's godly in that, like, one thing.
Like, I think it's, as we said in the Stump episode, right? Like,
Yeah.
when it's strength content, there's no other legend you should pick other than Shanks, if you have him, of course.
Or if they don't have immunity.
I mean, unfortunately, that's also true.
Yeah.
But like you should, if it's strength related content, always bring Shanks. If it's not, like I don't give a shit about Shanks. Like,
that is also another thing as well, is that even if it's like even if it is strength content, like Snakeman and Uta can still kind of destroy it too.
Bink it, yeah, 100%.
But if you're doing like Super Boss, that's where like the Super Tandem is super important, right? So
yes,
yeah, Shanks' Super
gets it.
Tandem, like his whole kit is just so insane versus strength that yeah, it makes sense that you know Shanks is good for that one thing, but
yeah.
it is annoying that it is like
But I
that.
think in the hypothetical you provided, like if you couldn't have anything else, and you could only have what released on those parts, I'd say part 1 for sure. Then part 3, then part 2 is how I'd probably roll it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think so. Cool. What do you think, Knight?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. I honestly don't remember what any of the recruits do in part 2 and 3. So
I feel that. I don't either, so
I just will base it off like legends, and I'll probably say 1, 3, and then 2. Even though like I kind of think Beckman, Lucky, Roo. I mean, yeah, Beckman, Lucky, Roo. Like, if it was just them and they were like the Super Suga, I would probably put them. I would do 1, 2, 3, but since they're not the Super Suga, I'll do 1, 3, 2.
I mean, their kit is so unique that you could almost classify them as a Super Suga unit. Like, if they did what they did, but like maybe added a couple of other niche abilities and like maybe buffed the numbers a bit,
easy.
like that unit would be like top 5, top 10.
Easy Super Suga Fest.
It's actually insane. Yeah.
All right. That's it. There we go. Hopefully, that's the last time we'll be talking about the Film Red celebration for quite some time. What were your overall thoughts, though? Just as like a not that I want to turn this into like a hour-long discussion, but just like
we've been there.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Final summarize, one sentence, couple sentences, whatever you want to say. How do you feel about the like that's it, Film Red? A Film Red celebration overall.
Sugos were cool. Characters were fine. Started strong. But the lack of content was definitely the clear standout. I think everyone kind of agrees with that sentiment.
Yeah.
The banners seemed cool, even though there was lots and lots of Super Sugo Fest. The SNS campaigns were great, lots of
I
Rainbow
agree.
Gems.
Yep.
But having all of these new characters and having no content to use them on was
always
glaring.
hurts, right? It
Huge
always
glaring
hurts.
issue. Yeah.
I think I'd echo the sentiment completely there. I think the Sugo Fest were cool. I mean, I didn't really enjoy it being 3 Super Sugo Fest back to back to back. But I think I agree with what you said at the very start, where if there was content to play in between each one, I don't think people would be complaining as much. But because there wasn't, it kind of made it a glaring issue where it necessarily shouldn't have been as glaring.
Yeah.
But I think they've done a good job, and I'm sure it's tough because, again, I think we talked about it in the Stump ep, where, like, I'm sure that they had a plan of, like, we're going to do this, then this, and this, and then Otter comes out of nowhere and says, oh, film red. Like, it's, make sure you have these characters and this stuff or whatever it is, or, like, content related to this IP released.
That's a good question.
Time,
like, wondering, how do they go about developing these characters, Like, do they get information before the film comes out, which I assume they probably do?
Yeah.
Like, just say, this is what you need to do, or do they get to see do the developers and the team get to see the film prior to its release to know what they need to do? Or I don't know. I don't know the behind the scenes stuff, but that's just fascinating.
Maybe just one of the Echido staff just is like a master at Treasure Cruise. He's just like, all right, mate, Uta does this. And everyone's like, all right, yes, sir.
It's not even like just what characters to pick, but they also have to do like the special animations, the flavor tech. Like, it means they would have to know what it looks like. What to do.
Someone has to know something, right? So
exactly. Yeah.
I think that, like, with what was provided, like, if you would abstractly look at everything, I think it's fine. I think I was a bit rash saying it's one of the worst celebrations we've had, but at the same time,
no, it's not one of the worst.
Yeah, I think I was a bit rash saying it was one of the worst, but
it could be better.
It could be better is how I should have probably framed it, But again, I think we got a fuck ton of gems. If we're gonna be real here, we got a lot of SNS gems,
I mean, I don't know how many we got, but I'm sure Game Freak probably counted.
Yeah, I think someone will ask. I think we'll figure it out. One of the Germans probably did. We'll get it for the next episode or something like that. But I think overall, Knight as an outsider, or allegedly as someone playing the game.
Allegedly
exactly. How did you find the film Red? Just as a quick summarization of things.
I think in practice, like, it was cool, but like how it turned out, like, kind of left with a bit of disappointment, but
bit of a sour taste kind of thing, right?
But that's just something that happens.
Exactly right. Perfect. Awesome. Well, we haven't actually. I'm lying to you guys. We haven't stopped there. Kizuna versus Uta, or technically Kizuna versus Shanks, but it's Uta. I don't know how they wanted, why they did it like this.
I always look forward to Super Boss Kizuna's. Like, I love going through that process of like building the teams, doing as much damage as we possibly can. Like, I love doing that with our alliance and stuff, but the issue is obviously still that the rewards in Kizuna are just terrible.
Shit. Dog water.
It is crazy to me how things have gone where, like, you got Treasure Map, which is one of the most grueling game modes to play, but they actually give you very good rewards for it. And like we mentioned it as well, like Treasure Map at the moment probably is the best game mode in the game.
Unfortunately.
As much as we hate to say it.
Yeah.
And like there's not much they have to do to make Kizuna amazing either. Like, it's a very small tweaks that they need to do, and it would be godly, but
if they just sliced all the boxes and just tweaked some of the numbers of how many items there were of this and that, like, it would just make it so much more valuable.
Like, add the new tablets, add Hunger, Fear, Shipbind, all of those ones. Add all of those. So currently in box 7, it's 2,000 items, and there's 3 of each of the tablets.
Yeah,
that's pretty harsh. I think that it should be 5 of each tablet for 2,000. I think that would be fair. And they should add more Rumble Scrolls into the boxes. Like, add gold ones into box 7. They need to, and maybe even like, I don't know how they'd do it, but I feel like there should be a way to get a super tandem or a final tap tablet in a Kizuna.
What-
Maybe a super tandem because of how often those characters release.
I thought what it could be is it'd just be a reward in box 6. So it's one of the gold chests, one of the rainbow chests in box 6, or maybe make it so like, I mean, this is a bit harsher, but maybe make it like a reward. Like if you clear all of box 7, so all 1,000 or 2,000 items, you get given a gold tablet from Trouble Man Mission or something like that.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well, what if they did like literally clear every single box out from
Yeah,
like
like-
max number to 0, then you get a tablet.
Which is kind of cringy, but at the same time, like
People would do it.
people would do it. I'd do it. Everyone would
Yeah.
do it. You know, there'd be more reason to not just like suicide strat and just like do assist quests every so often. Like you'd actually probably have more people actively trying to play to get the tablets and stuff. But how did you find? Because we're actually at the final stretch for this Super Kizuna. How did you find overall the Super Kizuna versus Uta/Shanks?
Yeah, I'm having a good time with it so far. I've actually spent quite a lot of potions. I think I spent something around like, I don't know, probably close to 20 potions or something at this point. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I did actually pull for the boosters. I ended up getting the Robin and the Frankie.
Lovely.
And those are definitely very nice towards the start of the quest. But, you know, when you're up to like, you know, level 80s and 90s and the boss has over like 1 to 2 billion HP, it's a little hard to use those boosters. So I'm at the point where I'm using non-boosters for these teams, but it's still a lot of fun. Just like the big numbers are fun to look at. So
especially when you're versing Super Boss and doing like 40, 50, 60 billion damage.
And that's the crazy thing, is that people have been able to build teams that do like 20, 30 billion damage, and some of these teams are not even using Luffy crew. So that's like showing the power creep in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, you know, why even use Luffy crew? Just release a whole bunch of other Straw Hats that means you can't use Luffy crew on your team
And
anymore.
I think that was the sentiment you gave.
Yeah.
I think a couple of days ago was like, well, the way that they negate Luffy crew is by boosting Straw Hats. So you kind of have an incentive, because like the premise of team building in Kizuna is like you want to build Super Boss teams that have as many boosted units as possible.
Yeah.
Like, because they get 2x stats, which is so much damage in comparison.
Yep.
You know? So, like, you try to do that, and if you boost a lot of Straw Hat units, you can be more inclined to use them as opposed to Straw Hat crew and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's this great dichotomy there. But, did you pull on the support banner? Or we're not talking about that one? For you?
Yeah, I did, and it was rough. Let's leave it at that, I guess. What about you? Did you pull for the Brook?
I mean, I got very lucky. I got Brook in the second.
Massive.
Which is nice. And I think I have all the support rare recruits now. Because I pulled, I believe I pulled Miss Merry Christmas and Mr. whatever his name is, Mr. 5 or something like that as well.
Mr. 4.
Mr. 4, yep. So I pulled them. I think it was the last one I was missing. I'm not 100% sure, but I know specifically I was missing them for a long time. So
right.
Got them as well, which is very fortunate. Brook's great. Kind of like we said. I mean, my gripe is that it's based upon a base attack boost, which a lot of people have pointed out that can only be used by like 7 units, which is, or 7 or 9, something along those lines.
It's actually funny because like if you went out of your way to pull the support Brook, like if you didn't have Usopp Yasopp, like it was actually kind of pointless. I guess
that's me.
Robin Jinbei were another one that were kind of good to use. Yeah.
I kind of pulled him for the Kizuna, but at the same time I was like, I don't have Usopp Yasopp, but Robin Jinbei are actually a really good legend. So I was like, you know, I see. And then the fact that Robin Jinbei reduced attack down as well. Like, and then
Robin Jinbei have seen a lot of play recently. They've actually been so useful.
They're really good characters, you know? Like, it's a really good unit. But this Kizuna brought about a new Shanks, Giga Chad, Jabroni, Big Boy, old man.
Got Giga Chad Shank.
He has a 5 and a 5+. I think I'll just read the 5+.
No reason to read the other one.
He's a really good character. So I
like him.
He is a super tandem character. No super type or class, which I found a bit funky, but I mean, it is a free-to-play unit, so it makes sense. His captain ability is side characters 4.25, with a matching slot 4x otherwise, HP by 1.3, Boosts the chance of landing on Psi and tandem slots the higher the HP is, and makes Psi characters' tandem slots have matching slot effect. His special is reduces cruise paralysis duration by 6 turns, reduces all enemies' resistance and threshold duration by 6 turns, sets the chain multiplier minimum to 2.75 to a maximum of 8, so chain boundary for 1 turn, and changes the bottom row character slots to tandem. His super tandem at level 5 is when you have any 2 of the following. And these are basically Shanks Pirates plus Luffy and Uta, and he applies a 1.5x attack boost to Psi, or tandem attack boost to Psi. Pretty good. Solid character. Very strong.
I like it. It's another free-to-play unit that has chain boundary, which is good.
Yes.
And actually, it's kind of funny because I think TM Sabo, that green one that we had during Anniversary, he was also chain boundary that had a super tandem.
Correct.
That is interesting. But I will say that this Shanks' super tandem is much easier to activate than Sabo's.
Way easier.
Because Sabo's, you need to just the Revolutionary Army commanders. And a lot of those units don't have like good characters in the game. So yeah, and this one you could use Usopp Yasopp, you can use Beckman Lucky Roo, you can use any Luffy character, and it's a Psi attack boost. Like it's solid. And the utility being 6-turn removal too. Captain ability in terms of free to play is usable for sure if you're building a free to play ish team, I guess. I'm a big fan. I like the Shanks. He's good.
I was greedily hoping that he would be a replacement for V1 Shanks, so I could use him on the local sea monster. Obviously, that's not the case, which makes sense naturally. But he's still great. Like as a free to play unit, as a free to play Super Evolution, fantastic character. You can you're gonna like if you get all the copies of him, which we should say. Make sure you get all the rainbow chests. I mean, it might be a bit late now to say that, and it will be a bit late to say that when this episode comes out. But like if you miss a dupe of him, you're fucked. Like,
exactly.
You know, so just be careful. You know, when going about that, I suppose. But I think it's a bit late to say that. But maxing out his super tandem obviously comes for free, which is fantastic. And he also has a limit break expansion on his kit, which requires. I mean, I don't know why
investment.
I don't know why I got so caught up on this, but I did because that's who I am, I suppose. But it requires 2 keys.
2 silver keys.
2 silver keys. And everyone's argument was like, oh, but you have lots of silver keys. That's not the point of the argument. The point is, how the fuck does a beginner do that? You know, like that's how I can't. And I guess then the counter argument to my argument is that the beginner shouldn't be thinking about limit break expanding, which is correct. But it's just a little frustrating, I suppose, when you think about it. I think I'm not sure where Ringe posted it, but he posted that like the number of materials required.
Oh yeah.
Frustratingly, this limit break expansion requires you to use all color limit break materials, shards, medium crystals, and orbs as well, which is just it's too much, man.
It is.
It's too much. Like I made the comparison to like TM characters because a TM character's limit break expansion only requires the color of the unit and only requires like at most I think it's like 100 shards and so on. But this, I'm still scrolling. I think he posted in the Kizuna chat, if I remember correctly. But here it is. 60 fragments, 30 crystals, 2 jewels of every color.
Yeah, that is a lot.
It's a lot of material, man.
We were trying to, max their legends and stuff, and then you've got like this free-to-play unit that requires that. Like that's a bit much.
The sad part for me, I suppose, is that the limit break expansion only gives you like cooldown and stats. It's not like the captain gets buffed. It's not like anything. It's not like he gets crewmate abilities or whatever it is. It's cooldown. So it's like, should you do it? Probably don't if you're not like an end game player. I mean, I've done it. I'm sure plenty of other people are going to do it as well.
Yeah.
But like, you probably shouldn't do it. But I would have just hoped that if you're going to put a free-to-play unit and you're going to give them a limit break expansion, like, and you're going to make it cost that much, adds something extra on top, I suppose, is how I would prefer it, I guess.
Yeah, like a buffed captain or something.
Yeah, I would, if I had a little bit of a buff captain or whatever the case is, would have been great. But, I mean, we're grasping at straws or picking at straws, I suppose, more than anything. Well,
It is what it is.
Kizuna, it happened. It existed. You know, it's Super Kizunas, like you said, are always fun. You know, it's great to eke out damage and continuously keep iterating on team after team kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's always a good feeling, nonetheless. But into the realm of super evolutions.
Oh yes, we got a couple of those.
And we have a lovely duo of super evolutions. The first one being Super Type Sabo.
That was a bit of a surprise, honestly.
That was left field.
A lot of people were kind of, I mean, because we got this announcement a while back when the treasure map was basically coming out, but a lot of people were suspecting it was going to be Tesoro or another one of the movie legends because we had Shiki in the month prior. So for them to choose Sabo, I don't understand the reasoning behind like why Sabo specifically. Yeah. And I get when you read the buffs and stuff, it makes sense because you can use it with Snakeman. There's some cool stuff with him there.
Yep.
But this definitely would not have been my choice for this month's Super Evolution.
Like, yeah, I agree. Like I get it, but I wish it wasn't the case. I suppose.
Yeah.
More than anything, he does get a level limit break as well with his Super Evolution 2. I'm going to read the level limit break version of the captain ability. So he turns into a Psi Fighter Free Spirit, and he gets the super type of Psi, obviously. His captain ability, level limit break captain ability, is boost the chain multiplier growth rate by 1.5, boost Psi and strength characters attack by 4.25, boost crew's HP by 1.25, and makes crew's strength Psi recovery and tandem slots have matching slot effect. And it heals crew by 1x character's recovery for each perfect you hit. His level limit break special is reduces all enemies' HP by 10% and boosts color affinity of strength and side characters by 2.25 for one turn and makes it easy to land perfects for that turn. If crew lands 3 perfect strikes in this turn, boost the color affinity for psi and strength characters by 2.5 for the next turn. Boost chain multiplier by 1.3 for one turn after one turn. His super type is now ignites all enemies for 2 turns. Boosts chain multiplier by 1.25 for one turn and adds 150x character attack and non-type damage on top of tap timing bonuses.
They actually I don't know if this is new or not, but I think they added Bartholomew Kuma as one of the activation requirements for that super type now.
He is there, yep.
That's bizarre.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's cool that I like that they actually updated his super type. That's really fascinating. So it sets good precedent for the future.
Exactly.
Because some characters' super types are just terrible. So
and a lot of the upcoming legends. Like there's still obviously a lot of legends that haven't been 6+, but there is going to be a large contingent of legends that are obviously super type characters that need to be 6+. So like this is a great step forward, I suppose.
Yeah.
To know that like hopefully that they'll get their super types also buffed too in their 6+.
Yeah, because there's like some of those super type characters desperately need some buffs.
They ass. They're fucking trash.
Yeah, facts.
So no, fingers crossed, right? How do you feel? Like I don't know how long. Like, obviously, we don't want to stay too long on these 6+, but how do you feel about this 6+ in comparison to, keep in mind, all the fantastic 6+s we've had this year?
Yeah, this
he's
definitely
a buff Mount Door. My bad.
No, you good, man.
What were we saying? This is a what? Sorry.
I was just saying he's kind of like a buffed Mount Door. The one rare recruit that came out with
V2
What did he come out with again? Yeah, V2 Kata. It's just basically him to me personally.
That's
and
so.
then plus
that's
like
so
his
funny.
old shit.
That's so true, though.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they changed his color to Psy. That was really weird.
I don't like it. That's my one gripe. Like, don't do that shit, man. Just don't do it. Just don't.
I would never use this guy as a captain. I don't think.
No.
His special's really nice though. I guess.
Yes.
Like again, he's going to be another Kizuna unit. To be honest.
Yep, I agree.
The fact that you can get such a high chain multiplier boost and also get like a really big color affinity boost in one special, and like Sabo has a couple of really cool supports too. So he's fascinating, but not a character that I'm going to use that often, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree, I think. With all that. His Rumble kit, Free Spirit, attack at level 8, Fighter, speed at level 8, fucking stupid. And his Rumble ability is Psi, HP at level 6, recovery at level 6. When striking a crit up to 2 times Psi, attack at level 6.
Yeah, even his Rumble stuff didn't even get much of an upgrade.
But it's also like his special is class, and his ability is color. What?
They don't get it.
It's fucking
what
stupid.
Are they doing?
It's actually that's actually ridiculous.
Man, it's
I don't know.
so annoying.
Whatever.
Like I don't know what they're doing, but
hey, another 6+. It's good. It's all right. Like, and again, they've kind of kept on the trend of just doing pretty decent things with 6+s, so it's always a positive.
I mean, at least his special does damage now. That's like kind of cool.
Adds
that's
a lot more
pretty
support
nice
to
buff.
that. I'm happy with that one. But time to bring the happiness down.
Oh, really?
6+ Uta.
Oh, wait. Uta got a 6+? Wait, when?
Oh, sorry, 6 minus Uta.
Oh, that's
yeah. Sorry, my bad. I was going to say 6 minus Uta came out. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. I don't know what they were thinking.
What the fuck are you? Why?
It's our favorite classes and type.
Oh yeah, int driven powerhouse. Woo!
Oh man. Oh, what a shit show this has been.
We'll get into the extra news that was announced as well a little later, but I'm sure this is what everyone is here today to listen to. Int 6+ Uta, Demon King of the Uta world, 6+ driven powerhouse int character that is a superclass driven. Could have just as easily been a superclass powerhouse, but it's
Could
not.
have.
I'm just gonna read it. Everyone strap in, get your popcorn. It takes a fucking long while. I'm gonna read the Godot version, so the Mats version, sorry. So it's kind of dot point, so a lot of the flavored text is removed, which is good. But, here we go. Captain ability. Reduces own cooldown by 4 at the start of the quest, and boosts int-driven powerhouse characters' attack by 5.25 and HP by 1.3. If the special is launched, boosts int-driven powerhouse characters' attack by 5.5 instead for 3 turns. If there is only one enemy at the start of the crew's attack, or when moving between each stage in a fight, reduces damage taken by 40%. Special. Launches turn progress activated effect for 3 turns. In each turn, Uta, Jesus, that's what it should be fucking called, Uta. Uta will apply the following effects. On launch, a 2.5x orb and 2.25x affinity for driven powerhouse for 1 turn. Turn 2, you get a 2.75 orb, 2.5 affinity. Turn 3, you get a 3x orb and a 2.75 affinity. When this effect is active, reduces crew's HP by 70% at the start of the turn. If the crew's HP is below 70% of their max HP, removes the effect and applies bind to self for 5 turns. If the special effect is removed by the enemy, boosts driven and powerhouse orbs by 2.75 and affinity by 2.5 for 1 turn. If the crew launches the same special effect while this effect is active, reduces crew's HP by 30% instead of 70% when the effect is active at the start of each turn, and lowers the effect HP condition to below 30% for effect removal. Additionally, extends the duration of attack up by 2 turns, locks slots for 2 turns, and boosts chain by 1.4 for 3 turns. The superclass condition is orb and color affinity, and the superclass ability is boost orb boost and color affinity effects by 0.25 for specials that are launched after this buff is launched for 3 turns. Buff will apply to supports and such. Changes top and bottom row slots into matching, and changes driven to super driven.
Man. There is just so much wrong with this
Okay,
character.
let's break it down.
All right,
So,
Captain first.
Yes, we have a
issues.
change into int-driven powerhouse, 5.25, HP 1.3. When you use the special, it goes to 5.5 for 3 turns. That's
correct.
Strong, Very powerful. Lots of damage there. That's great. I think it's weird that it's... I mean, I don't know. Did Uta do that? Like, base Uta? I don't know. Like, with the
Which part?
The whole... When you pop the special, makes the attack boost higher.
No, she didn't do that.
I don't like how it's for 3 turns. I don't know. It's a bit weird.
It's just... Like... Why did they think that was a good idea? Like, why would you remove the amazing gimmicks that the base Uta had and replace it for a very slightly higher attack boost and some very obscure damage reduction?
I have no fucking idea how this works. If there is only one enemy at the start of the crew's attack, or when moving between each stage in a fight, reduces damage taken by 40%.
Yeah, it's just damage reduction.
But like, how does is it just really shittily worded to just be like, if there's one enemy, 40% damage reduction?
That's essentially what it is, yeah. But I think it's worded that way because, like, I guess if you enter a stage and they do preemptive damage, you can also reduce that. But if there's multiple enemies and they still do preemptive damage, it's not reduced. So it's weird.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's dumb.
All right. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. All right. Cabinet's kind of whack.
Correct.
Special. Ugh. Why?
What's wrong with the special?
What the fuck does it do? It doesn't make sense.
Well, they removed the attack boost from the previous Uta and made the orb boost
Orb
the
affinity
big boost, and then the affinity boost instead. Like this would have made sense if Uta became super effective against all types. I would be okay with that.
Yes.
But what they've done here is they've made this character not only worse because they've changed the buffs, but they also actively made debuffs in the special too. Like, what the actual hell are they doing? Jesus.
So, turn 1, you get a 2.5 orb and a 2.25 affinity. Turn 2, you get 2.75, 2.5. Turn 3, you get 2.75. Turn 3, you get 3x, 2.75.
Yeah.
But there is a check now. So, when the effect is active, you reduce the crew's HP by 70% at the start of the turn. When does that get procced again? Is that the second turn or the first turn?
So when you launch the special, you're not cut. It's at the start of the second turn is when it will cut.
That should be specified.
Yeah, it's so
that doesn't make
worded.
any sense. Okay, so now we have a check. So we've cut our HP by 70% at the start of the second turn is what we should say. If the crew's HP is below 70% of their max HP, and I believe this is checked on the third turn.
Well, it depends, right? Because if you enter the second turn and your health is below 70%, it'll do the cut and the removal.
Okay. So basically on the second turn at a minimum, it'll check if your HP is below 70%, and if it is, it removes all the effects and applies bind to self for 5 turns.
Yep.
What? Why? Like, how did, like, the dichotomy of this episode of how we're like, Uta's the best fucking legend. Like, Uta's so good, so unique, so class. And now this is Uta again, but so ass. Like, it's straight. It doesn't make much sense.
I can't believe they've done this.
I cannot actually at all. And then this character also does the same thing that Uta does. If the effects are wiped and you pop the special. Sorry, is it effective wipes and you pop the special? Or is it just if it's wiped, it pops the...
If the enemy wipes it, it does it.
It does it, okay. So there you go. Same thing as the previous one. And then here's where it just gets funky. It just gets wacko. If the crew launches the same special, so if you have 2 Utas, while the effect is active, it reduces your HP by 30% on the second turn instead of 70 while the effect is active at the start of each turn, and then lowers the condition to below 30% for the effect removal. So initially we had a 70% HP cut, and we were checking if we were below 70%, but if we've popped a second Uta, we have a 30% HP cut, and we're checking if we're below 30%.
Yep, correct.
Additionally, extends the duration of attack up by 2 turns, locks orbs for 2 turns, and boosts chain by 1.4 for 3. Where the fuck is the attack up?
Yeah, it's relying on you using other specials of attack up to then extend it. Like, it's just so dumb. I hate this unit. Like, this unit is so bad. And the thing is like, I've already showcased this unit. I tried using this unit in content, and it's so annoying because you basically have to build your team for the debuffs in mind, and sometimes you have to bring characters dedicated to help you either get rid of the bind or characters that can straight up heal you. And the thing is base Uta never had this problem.
No.
The base Uta just had her abilities and she was good to go. Like, this unit, you have to build around these inherent debuffs. Like, oh, you get binded? Okay, maybe I'll use Yamato as my captain and then have Uta as the sub, or Uta as the friend captain, and then Yamato captain gets rid of the bind. Or I have, like, some people were trying to build with, like, a TM Pudding, who heals you at the start of each stage for a certain amount of time. And, like, that actually works.
We were testing, weren't we? Yeah, we were trying with TM Pudding, we were trying with, like, if V2 Marco, like, kind of worked it out too. Like, when did the checks occur? Like, I'm at a loss for words as to how they fucked it this bad.
I don't know how they thought this was a good idea.
They dropped the balls.
I think they improved it.
Okay, go off, King.
This guy.
Go off. How do you... please...
No, I'm capping.
Enlighten me, sir. Oh, wait, never mind. She's ass. It's, like, I'm actually at a loss, because when I remember, like, the Japanese, info had come out before Global got the download.
Yeah.
And I remember I was translating, I was like, this makes no fucking sense. I was like, none of these words make sense together. What does this mean? I was like, there's no way that it's actually saying you bind yourself if you're below 70%. I was like, there's no shot. And then it was true, and I was like, oh dear. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But, it's crazy. It's actually ridiculous. I don't know.
I can still see uses for this character
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Because you gotta remember that the Orb and Affinity boost it doesn't trigger interrupts.
Correct. It's still like Uta.
That's still good.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But this 6+ essentially is trying to force your hand to using another 6+ Uta as well. Like, it's weird.
If they were trying to get you to use double Uta before, this one really shows what they're trying to do. Like, they really want you to use 2 Utas whenever you use this character. But another thing that really doesn't make sense in terms of the design of this character is the final tap condition. The condition to activate the final tap makes 0 sense with the way that how you're supposed to use this character. Because in order to get it to activate, the other one, the base Uta, said you needed to have 2 Cerebrals on the team.
Yes.
Okay, that's not a problem. This one says you need to use Uta's special on the final stage. That doesn't make sense.
Make any sense.
Because you want to use it before so you can get the big buffs when you reach the final stage.
It doesn't, like, this is like, like, I'm never at a loss for words, right? Like, I always try to think, like, from the perspective of the devs and be like, all right, what were they intending? What's the plan? But this is fucking dumb. Like, it makes no sense for you to use the special in the final. It just doesn't. Irrelevant sense. No sense at all. Why would... In what realm would you want to use the special on the final turn? Like, it just... The check happens on the second turn. Like, you don't... Why would you want to use the special to only get the minimum buff? I get it. Like, it's still at 2.75, 2.5. No, 2.5, 2.25. So it's still, like, strong.
Yeah.
But when I could get 3 and 2.5 or 2.75, like, I would prefer to get that as opposed to getting the minimum. What I would have wanted this unit to do is fuck all this binding shit. Make this unit fucking busted. Like, this is meant to be the quote-unquote ultimate form or some shit. I don't know how this shit relates to the movie at all yet. Because, again, this is a big spoiler for people that haven't watched the film. Like, and
Right.
I don't know about the film either myself, to be honest with you. So I don't know. But make it a fucking a Giga Buster ass unit. Like, just do it. Like, what are you scared of? Like, make it so if I pop the Uta and I pop a second Uta, I get an attack boost as well. So again, I can get the duration extend and like give me some fucking shenanigans like that. Don't do this shit, man. The final tab is so ass, bro. It's such ass, man. You can't do. I don't know. I don't know. It's. But
yeah,
hey, at least
a
the unit's fucking incredible in Pyro Rumble.
That's the saving grace of the character is the Pyro Rumble kit.
Also, I want to say the support is an attack and orb boost, which is just doesn't even go alongside what their kit is.
It makes 0 sense. It's so
like,
stupid.
why would the support be an attack and orb boost when you're boosting orbs and affinity? But anyway, special for this unit. What's the CT? I don't have it up on the.
It's 34.
There you go, 34 CT on the special. Targets enemies within a large range for 100% chance of half attack and speed for 20 seconds. And special CT speed down level 2 for 20 seconds. And it does 4x damage. Is that
all of that is in large range.
Huge. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, within a large
not,
range. Okay.
And it's not large, like horizontal. It's just like
large range.
Large radial range. So it hits a lot of enemies.
Wonderful. The ability is driven allies HP up level 6, attack at level 6 when dealing damage up to 4 times self attack at level 2, special CT speed up level 2.
Yep. Good.
Very good. The annoying thing in the pattern is it's attack, heal. And that's about it for the kit there. I know you tested this unit out. What were your thoughts, Todd? In the driven realm. Todd's disappeared. He's going to go find Ucha's actual 6+ as a matter of fact. But I mean, looking at the unit's kit in its entirety, I suppose more than anything, it gives like a massive ass buff to driven. It provides.
Needed it.
It provides a lot, and I think I saw like a few. I think I sent you a team that was posted by some JP players that just looked fucking crazy.
The new Fuji on it too.
Yeah, with the new Fuji unit, because I know that Ringe has actually been hyping up that Fujitora unit a lot, saying it's very, very good. But I said it before you quickly dipped. What were your thoughts on using this unit in Pyro Rumble?
Yeah, this unit's very good. I like the way that this character is built. It is annoying that the character has such a high CT, but for what it does, I kind of understand. But the thing is if you can continuously launch attacks with this character, you're continuously lowering this character's CT with the Rumble ability.
Mm-hmm.
So after 4 hits, this character gets level 8 additional attack and level 8 CT increase to herself. That's pretty good. So in a lot of cases, after you launch that special, you'll probably launch it once or twice before the end of that 100 count. So you'll probably launch it 3 times in that 100 count, even though it's like a really, really high CT.
Mm-hmm.
So that's incredible. But there's a couple things about that kind of really hurt this unit is the fact that in the behavior pattern, there's 2 heals.
Yeah.
So you've got like normal attack, heal. So that means that, when this character does come up to attack, instead of getting a hit off, which would increase your attack and CT, you get a heal instead. That does hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that does hurt as well is this character is driven in powerhouse focus, which means Wano Lord just destroys you still.
Yep, naturally, as it should be.
And
things around the world.
Int and Driven don't have many characters that give you CT increase like for the team, so that would also kind of help if you could launch this character a lot faster, because that's the problem with the Int team, is that they're a very slow team. A lot of the other teams like Psy and even Dex to a certain extent, they can launch their specials pretty quickly. I know launch their specials very quickly as well, but that does kind of hurt them. But the thing that Int have and Driven have, I guess, over the other teams is they're relatively bulky.
Mm-hmm.
So they can tank those hits and then dish out a lot of debuffs and pretty decent damage, which is one of the most annoying things when you go up against Int, is that they have a lot of those debuffers. Like, you got access to Moria, Yamato, and now this Uta, which can all provide severe debuffs to your crew, which can hurt you a lot.
It's very, like you said, it is the saving grace.
Yeah, that's the only good thing about this unit. And like, if you're gonna have 2 Utas, like, this would be one of the reason why, is because in Rumble, this character is pretty insane.
But you say 2 Utas, Todd.
Yes.
But
Mm,
segueing into the final point of today,
indeed.
we've received a lot of news. I'll read it verbatim. Regarding Sugure Uta's Super Evolution. Considering user feedback regarding the Super Evolution of Uta, the Song of Peace, that is available with the crystal skulls obtained starting September 20th, we will be applying the following changes.
Yep.
Illustration adjustment of the Uta Demon King of the Uta world. The super evolution of Uta will have Uta as the main part of the illustration to fit within the evolution's theme. Then there is the further. So then number 2, further evolution form added. Following the in-movie story, a further evolution form will be added to Uta Demon King of the Uta world. With this addition, the Sugure Uta will have up to a total of 3 evolution forms. The adjustment will consider so that the user who have recruited one Sugure Uta will not have to recruit another Sugure Uta. These changes may take longer than usual. Once further details have been consolidated, it will be updated through the notice.
Right.
Wow.
That was pretty left field. No one was expecting that.
So
the first point of the illustration being changed is kind of weird. Well, I guess a lot of people were really complaining about that because with Uta becoming this new form, when you see the film, it's kind of weird because this new form isn't really Uta. It's not Uta herself as the character.
Interesting.
So that's why people
Okay.
were kind of concerned about that because realistically, if we're being real, you should be able to use this character and Uta on the same team.
Oh.
So the fact that this character is classified as Uta doesn't make sense. And I think that's what a lot of the Japanese players were complaining about.
Right.
Which is why now they are going to change it to it being Uta is going to be part of it, but then the Demon King is basically also a part of it. That's my understanding.
So it's still going to technically you still won't be able to use 2 Utas in a crew.
Yeah. They're not changing that.
Okay.
They're just changing the artwork.
That's shed a lot of light then on things for me.
That's why people were really complaining about it, I think.
This second point though.
Yeah.
With this addition, the Sugure Uta will have up to 3 total evolution forms.
Mm-hmm.
What? So we're getting an additional super evolution?
Apparently.
7-star Uta. Let's go.
Shut up.
For 7-star.
Because when it says up to 3 evolution forms, have they just fucked up by thinking that 6-star Uta's... I guess technically 6-star Uta's an evolution form?
I guess they really should just say 3 forms, not evolution forms.
Yeah, it shouldn't be evolution forms. I guess if they went from 5 to 6 stars one, even though there isn't a 5-star.
Right.
Then 6+, and there'll be another 6+.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow. And what does that mean?
I'd say the weirdest thing about it is that they said that the evolution is for the Demon King.
So does that mean that the Demon King form is going to be a specific Uta 6+, and then there's going to be a different Demon King form that might not include Uta?
I think that 6-star Uta evolves into Demon King, and then Demon King will evolve further, probably back to Uta, is my guess.
Whoa.
That's my assumption. And with that, they're probably... Well, they've said that they're keeping in mind that they don't want to have a situation where people feel obligated to pull multiple copies of Uta to have one of each of the forms.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe they're going to make Super Evolution Skulls... whatever you need to evolve Demon King into the other Uta, maybe it's going to be free or something like that, or you just need basic evolvers to evolve it, maybe.
Do you think people that have pulled Uta will be getting a second copy of Uta?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Hell no. If people think that, they got rocks in their head.
I'm kicking it to you. A lot of JP people are interpreting it that it's a second copy of Uta, which is
absolutely not
mad if that's the case,
no
right?
Shot. Bro, that would be crazy if
that'd be
they
elite.
That.
I'm down, but like,
bro, that's another final tap.
That's
level.
what I'm saying,
bro.
But like,
there's no way.
I'm pretty apprehensive to 6+ my Uta, right? I have 2 copies.
Yeah.
So I could, and I know that there's lots of skulls available. There's like 500 skulls available for Uta because she does require 5 skulls to super evolve.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait on super evolving just to see what happens and then go from there. Because the way it's worded is just a little confusing as to like, because at the end of the day, like they want to take a route where you shouldn't have the necessity to have multiple copies, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
So what, like, is it going to be like you said, is it going to be like 6 to 6+ to 6++? Like technically 6++, or just another 6+? Or
I feel like it'll just be another 6+, like a 6+ into a 6+.
That's crazy.
That's the way I think it might work. Or it would be weird. Like, what if, like, you have Int Uta, and then you evolve to Demon King.
Yep.
And then what if you go to the evolution screen, and instead of evolving further,
you have the swipe.
It's a devolve, yeah.
What if it's gonna be one of them, like, remember those like the OG like Story Lucci?
Oh yeah.
Where like using specific material evolves into a different kind of character.
Yep.
What if it's just that?
Yeah, it could be. And you can just when you're on Demon King Uta, you go, swipe to go to Int, or if because my theory is that I think that this new Uta is going to be Sai.
Yeah, works with Luffy. That makes sense.
And Shanks, the new free-to-play Shanks.
Yep. So Sai free spirit of some kind.
Because Uta is one of the characters that activates the super tandem.
Yep, correct.
And it's a super tandem boost for Sai, so it makes sense. So the real question is as well, was this additional form of Uta planned, or was this like proactive work?
I think it's proactive. I think that because I guess from what you've just said, it kind of makes sense why the unit debuffs itself. Like, because it's kind of like this like grandiose, like powerful being, but it isn't technically Uta, so it's like it has to have a negative side of things. I don't think that they planned to get like I don't think they had a contingency plan in place. I think the fact that they've specified this is going to take longer than usual means it's going to be a bespoke change that's occurring.
Well, another thing that's really bizarre is that Demon King Uta doesn't have Ink Effect.
Yeah, that's a good point too, actually.
So it makes me think like maybe they plan to have this additional form after the fact, and like, but I don't know. It's weird that the Demon King doesn't have Ink.
Maybe like there was meant to be a Part 4 Sugo Fest or something like that, and they're meant to release another thing, or like maybe they got news from like, I don't know, if like One Piece was like, hey, fuck off, or like Otto came in and was like, I can't pull Shanks. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like someone's like, I fail. No, because like what is interesting is that at least as far as we're aware, like a lot of this is based upon JP player feedback, is my assumption at least.
It feels that way.
Which is really interesting that they've actioned it so quickly. It's like, like it's a pretty interesting factor of things. So it just turns out, just speak Japanese forehead and we might get things actioned.
Honestly, it'd be fascinating if something big happens in the future, if everyone just starts complaining with Japanese. They can see if stuff actually gets
change. Yeah, that's a good shout actually, to be honest with you. So I mean, I don't know. Like I think I'm interested to see what happens. I'm very interested. And all right, then I guess to wrap it up, when do you think this upgrade or update or whatever it is will drop?
Definitely before the end of the year.
My tinfoil theory is that it'll drop by the end of October. So when the whole banners leave.
I hope so.
Because it would be really weird if like January next year, let's say, oh, here's your 6+ Uta, teehee. Like, what the fuck? Like, nah, man. That'd be kind of weird to me, at least. So
because they're doing this stuff to like they have to change, and they even said in the post like this could take time to implement into the game. And by this point as well, like they have a lot of stuff planned. Like they got to do the .5 anniversary.
Yep.
They also would probably be starting to work on New Year's stuff as well.
Yep.
And then maybe even global anniversary stuff in early next year.
Yep.
And I guess kind of a side post. I don't know if you've got it here on the other news, but the ambush schedule that came out recently.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating that they've already listed that all the way until April 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they have a lot of stuff planned. So the fact that they have to do this stuff on top of what they already have to do is just, it's just very fascinating.
They have to find a way to like swindle it in, you know, casually, I suppose, more than anything.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just wait and see, I suppose.
Exactly.
That
and we'll report on it when it comes out.
Exactly right. So that wraps us up for regular news. Into everyone's favorite section in other news. JP had a random small server maintenance a couple of days ago. I think it was like a week ago. Something like that. That was pretty interesting. There was an update to Rare Recruit Sanji's kit where it changed from 50% of the maximum HP to 50% of the current HP. Found it pretty interesting. You could end up killing yourself with that Sanji Rare Recruit. That was funny. There's a new TM silhouette, which is kind of theorized to be Punk Hazard lore. So could our next batch be related to Punk Hazard? Question mark.
Maybe we'll finally get our Legend Caesar.
We might finally get our Legend Caesar, or we'll get another Legend Akainu. Sick. There will be a global gem shop maintenance happening relatively soon, I believe. I think.
Bit of a weird one.
I think it's like the 28th. I'm scared, and again, take it with a grain of salt. A lot of JP players have been kind of exclaiming that the gem prices will be going up soon. So I hope that that isn't what this update's about. But then again, there were a lot of there were gem shop issues on JP a couple days ago. So maybe it's about that as well. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Interesting.
Raid Bullet event returns.
Who asked?
Oh yeah.
So you can go farm. There's no additional rewards.
To mention.
Go.
No Bueno Festa.
Nope. Oh.
Wait, surely not, right? Surely he has to be in here.
That's what it says in the news feed.
Bro, why even bother bringing it back?
Yeah.
Holy.
Oh, I had no idea.
Missed this character? Oh, get fucked.
There'll be no ranking event associated. There'll be no ranking event associated with this event for Buena Festa.
What the hell?
Oh,
like, it just makes you think, why would they bring
God.
this out right now? There has to be a reason for this, right? You would think.
You would hope so, but all the Trouble missions are the same. Remember the ones where it's like, use Luffy, Sabo, blah, 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 for limit break materials? That's all the Trouble missions.
Maybe this bullet will get a limit break expansion with the next batch. I don't know, or
that'd be funky though. That'd be
or
weird.
if he actually like another
level limit break.
Level limit break. But I'd love that.
That'd be interesting. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of weird. I don't like. This is the funny part about this unit release, like this event releasing, is that we've complained like, why haven't they brought back any of the events? The banner's like, all right, you guys want to fucking complain? Boop, here you fucking go. Here's Raid Bullet. Go farm it again, you idiots. And everyone's like, okay, sorry.
So weird.
Very weird.
Next, they're gonna release that Chopper and Carrot dual unit, but no Pedro.
But no Pedro. Yep. As Todd mentioned, there is ambush information all the way up until April 2023, which is really interesting because
really
it could allude to ambushes being removed. It could allude to an update on the system. It could just be that they're tired of scheduling it every month, so they said, "Fuck it, here it is for the next like 9 months." I don't know. And then JP will also be having another server maintenance. Cool. Lots of server maintenance. I don't know why, but it just keeps going through maintenance.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully
another thing as well is like we're currently recording this video at the 25th or 24th PST.
Yep.
And we don't even know what the next batch is. We haven't had any icon download yet. So
what I've noticed is that part 2 and part 3 of the finale, they end in 12 days.
Wait, finale. Wait, no, wait. Oh,
Super,
it's
like
a-
the film Red finale, part 2 and part 3. Like
12
the
days.
part 3 of the film Red, but then the 12
Right.
days from now. So
That's a
it'll
weird
end.
end time.
So
What
to
date
end,
is
like,
that?
So we're on the 25th. So the 2nd is 7 days. 1, 2.
Oh,
3,
but when the
4.
next treasure map Sugo is
So
then.
7th of September. So Friday, 7th of September, roughly. So
Probably when the next TM
are we
comes
just
out.
skipping a whole end of month batch? I doubt it, but
That'd be weird, but I mean, I'm sure people would be okay with that.
oh please, easy.
That would be kind of weird too.
Saves me money and time.
I mean, but Bandai would be like, no, we must have new characters. We must have, we
Go
gotta make more money.
go.
That would be bizarre.
Bit weird, bit funky there. But again, we are recording this a little early, so you'll have to wait for our opinions a little later down the track. That's it for everyone's favorite section. But now we're going to go into the shout-outs. Thank you so much for your continued and consistent support. We do greatly appreciate it. As I said, this is being filmed on the 25th, so if we get any new members that join, you'll be definitely read out in the following episodes from that point onwards. But like I said, if you go down there, you hit the subscribe button, you like, you comment. There's also another button there that says join. You don't have to do it by any stretch of the imagination. It is a financial support to the podcast, and it helps make the production bigger and better every time forward. And we do greatly appreciate it. There are a bunch of different tiers to support at, and they all have their different perks and such. But I'll read them out. So thank you to our members, our GGP producers of TheLordShiro and Alex Wisniewski, our perfect member of Kisa, our 3 great members of MyDrunkenMoneky, Cody, aka CS Wins, and Void Seeker, and our 5 good members of Riowan, Stump D Gacha, Red Halo, Dr. Erection, and Wankerfella.
Appreciate that, lads.
Still gets me every time. Dr.
Wankerfella.
Erection and Wankerfella. They should get married.
Jeez.
But
Yeah.
from the shoutouts into everyone's actual favorite section, it is the Q&A.
Let's fucking go.
As per usual, you can send your
questions.
questions. Oh, he's gassed. As per usual, you can send your questions in to us via Twitter at GGP Podcast or our YouTube community tab. The first question comes in from at Obsidian_Steed_. He asks, do you think we could see OPTC have legends with original concepts? Like what they did with the Mugiwara 56, like an Admiral Luffy legend sounds kind of heat, or maybe like a Nightmare Luffy Gear 4 legend, something like stuff like that. That'd be cool.
I would like that.
Like the Mugi 56 was actually fucking cool. Like it was as a whole entire like batch and release was super interesting. So I reckon I'd be kind of down if they did something like that again.
I can definitely see them doing that again at some point. I mean, eventually they'll get to a point where it's like, we don't know what to do for this batch. All right, we'll just do like weird Straw Hats or weird Luffy or something like that.
I'd be down. I'd be totally down.
That. They'll definitely do more of that in the future. I can see it for sure.
And it's fun. It's like fun kind of stuff too. So
yeah,
exactly. So I'm kind of.
I mean, technically.
What's up?
Technically, it's a color spread. It's not actually original.
All right. All right, auto staff member. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I would love to see more original stuff.
Man's on the JP dev team and the fucking editorial team for One Piece. Jesus. Moving mad. All right, next question from Definitive Zach. What's going on, Zach? Double-sided question for Todd and Papi. What would it take for you to quit OPTC altogether? And on the flip side, for Night and Flame, what would it take for you to come back to Treasure Cruise? Love the pod, and as usual, stay safe out there. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks.
We should get this ask this question at least once every 6 months. Todd, what's it going to take you? What's it going to take you now to quit Treasure Cruise?
They just stop making content.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm just in the swing of things with the content cycle where it's like I just have a flow where I don't mind if nothing comes out. But if they just altogether if they stop releasing content and just release like a point farming event every month and then like did TM Kizuna and batch release and that was it, I'd be like, okay, now it's getting a bit shitty. So
yeah, get a bit rough.
So hopefully they still keep releasing stuff. But I think I'm the same as you. I think if they stop releasing content, it's just all banners and nothing to play. I think I'll have to take a step back. Right, Unite, what's bringing you back to Treasure Cruise?
If they start making content.
Damn! There you go. There's your flip-sided answer, Zach. Hope you enjoyed that one, Chief. I'm sure Flame would go on a tirade, but he'd probably say the same thing too. Where is that guy, by the way? Who knows?
That man doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know.
He disappeared. Man said, "I'll be a little." No, where is it? He said, "You can start without me. I'll be there in a little bit." He said that almost 2 hours ago. What does a little bit mean?
Famous last words.
Man finally went on that date. Good on him, I suppose. We'll keep that meme going along. The next question from, please get a better at, by the way, at L0IW4H lowercase k uppercase K V lowercase y uppercase P I uppercase A C M.
All right.
How can we say for a legend it is good because the new legends only work for their event and the next one? Is it considered good only if it's used for Super Kizuna? It's a good question, actually. So how do you determine if a legend is good when they're generally created for the cycle, like for the content of that month and then the preceding month?
How often they get used in content where they're not boosted?
I think that's nothing else to add, to be honest.
Like Hybrid Kaido.
Yep, I agree. I think
Luffy crew.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're not boosted on a lot of events, but people still use them.
Yep. I think that's a fantastic way to actually answer that question.
Yep.
Done. Easy. Straight. Thanks, Todd.
And also Pirate Rumble,
GG.
maybe, if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd agree with you actually on that one too. I'd say because Pirate Rumble is part of their kit, so it does add.
Yeah.
It adds a determining factor.
For sure.
Sweet. Next question from TheLordShiro, one of our producers. He asks, "What would you guys think of a game mode where players can create a quest and challenge people to beat them? Bandai could even pick some that people make and give CM Copperman mission rewards for clearing them. That'd be really cool if there was kind of like a level editor-esque thing in the game, and you
like a Mario, like a Mario Maker,
type deal. I think it was what is it like? This isn't like in Mario Odyssey. This is like weirdly tangential, but in Mario Odyssey there was like the Luigi's Balloon World thing, where like you'd go put a balloon somewhere, and then like you'd have you'd go talk to a character, and then you have like a bunch of options of like balloons to try to find in a certain time limit.
Right.
And then when you'd select that, and then that would be like your mission. And then if you beat it, if you like found the balloon and broke it, you'd get like a coin reward or whatever. So I guess they could kind of follow suit in that sense potentially. Like every like day or week, like people create content, and then like every week it refreshes. Then you can choose which ones you want to verse or whatever it is, and then you can like if you beat it, you get a reward, or like maybe the most played ones, like Shiro said, can be turned into like actual content with Chopman missions and such like that as well. That'd be pretty cool.
I'd be down for that. That'd be pretty fun. I
think it'd be fun because that just added such a new layer of like content creation on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It'd be super awesome, and it would like show the creativity of the game too. So again, another fantastic thing. All right, next question from here we go. Portuguese _Sosa.
Oh boy.
I love how we have all these like overarching storylines of like viewers. Like Cody's always the final question, and you have Sosa jumps in and says some crazy shit, and like it's great. Portuguese _Sosa. Sosa, sorry. Hello guys, it's me, Mr. Sosa, aka Mr. Steal Your Girl for only 5 minutes because she really doesn't want me. Damn. Alright. Okay guys. She's a 10, but she thinks OPTC content cycle right now is perfect.
Yeah, bro, that ain't it.
Bro, she's fucked. She's a 0. I can't trust her. I can't trust her.
No, we're not down for that.
This one's mad. Next part is she's a 10, but she has a bigger glizzy than you. That's fucked.
Hey, yo,
that's mad. So I don't know what you're into, buddy, but I'm not.
Yeah, look, no, that ain't it, chief.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, and I'm not talking about her glizzy, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Bruh. To clarify, bitches love Chief Keef, women love me because I'm classy. That's cap. But whatever you say, bro.
Thank you for your question. It's always entertaining to get questions from Mr. Sosa here. Mr. Sosa, sorry, aka Mr. Steel Girl for only 5 minutes because she really doesn't want me. Yeah, okay, there we go. Perfect. Next question from Nexus _Father. Hey lads, back again, and this time I have a question that you guys might have already answered, but I'm still going to ask it. Do you think banner restricted legends will be in the metal shop one day? It's cool owning Super Tandem Kaido, Ace Yamato, and all, but I'm still missing Ace Sabo, for example, who are still useful to this day, and I absolutely can't pull them since they aren't always on Kizuna banners anymore. And also, Kizuna banners hate me for some unknown reason. I'm wishing you all a very nice day, and also I must inform Totsuki that his thumbnails with Pepe the Frog photoshopped on them absolutely crack me up. There you go.
Yeah. I'll try and add more of those in the future.
Just straight only Pepe's from now on. That's it. Do you think that they're going to add restricted legends to the coin shop at any point?
I'm gonna say yes at some point.
I agree.
I don't know when, but I feel like they added TM characters in the previous month's list, so I feel like that's a good starting point.
They might make them more expensive. I know that Sonic kind of sounds dumb, but they might make them more expensive because they are technically exclusive characters to like certain places.
Yeah, so expensive and only one copy.
Yeah, I would say like maybe 500 medals, which is fucking a lot, but like I
was thinking more.
You think so?
600?
I was thinking like maybe 1,000.
Hey!
Oh.
Damn! I hope not, but makes sense.
I mean, I hope not, but I wouldn't be
It does
shocked
make
if they
sense
did do
though,
it.
because you like, I guess because they have this unequivocal value on them. That's just like, you're an exclusive character, you only appear every so often, like you're not all
But like
the time.
hypothetically, if they put like a Roger or V1 Odin, like no one would really care that much. But like, because you don't need to like get dupes of him for like Super Tandem or Final Tap or anything.
Actually, Totsuki, V1 Odin's free to play.
True, actually. Point.
I don't know. I think I agree. I think it's gonna happen. I mean, surely it has to, right? At some point.
Yeah.
What's the newest character we've had? Is the Straw Hat Pirates the quote-unquote newest character we've had in the metal shop now?
Wait, which character?
V1 Straw Hats. Are they the newest character we've had in the metal shop? I think so.
Have we had like Robin, Jinbei,
surely,
Nami, Usopp?
Surely we've had like Lucci and Boa and stuff, right? Like
yeah, we had Lucci, I believe.
Okay, so if that's the case, then Lucci's the newest.
Could be wrong, but I can't remember. I think it is Lucci. Ex Lucci.
So I don't think we haven't had Katakuri or Doflamingo.
I think Red Dofi was in there.
Oh, okay. I don't think we've had Robin. Actually, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and puzzle it for too long. But
either way, I don't think we've had characters from 2022. 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had anything too new. So I think I would say that like I think once they kind of get more closely towards the more recent legends, I could see them releasing a new tier or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Next question from Random Spawn. They ask, have you guys considered putting OPTC at second fate? Oh, I don't know what that means. And focusing on another game on your channel. So you guys putting OPTC to the side or like you're focusing on something else?
Not entirely. No.
Could you see yourself?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Knight, what are you playing instead? Everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess that's what you have the TCG channel for, though. For Todd, at least. Like, that's kind of your second kiln there. And any kind of gachas that you go out and
funny thing about that,
Go.
I actually did record, like, I bought a Pokemon booster box when I went to Crunchyroll Expo.
Yeah.
And I recorded it, and the pulls were so bad, I'm like, I'm not even going to upload this shit.
That's rough.
It was so bad.
That's rough.
Oh, man, it was bad. It was really bad. I might as well just, like, thrown everything out. Nothing was worth anything.
That sucks.
Either way, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we did the podcast. Like, we kind of... OBC still is the main crux of the podcast. However, like, we've added in that extra little bit, just like talk show style thing where, like, you know, we don't want to just make it all about psychoanalyzing the game or whatever it is. There's more things to talk about as well. So,
yep.
Easy. Next question from one of our good members, Dr. Erection. Hopefully that's going all right for you, buddy. Hey guys, if you had to pick a unit that incorporated their devil fruit in their character, i.e. Sugar and Bon Clay, what character would you like to see and what would they do?
Boy, oh boy.
That's a toughie.
That is a toughie. Character in the devil fruit.
Too many damn characters. Too many damn devil fruits, to be honest.
Yeah, because like they did Bon Clay and they did Sugar pretty well.
I think so. I think they did it extremely well, yeah.
Boas is not bad.
Yeah, they did Boas alright. Yeah, I'd agree.
Hmm.
They kind of did.
Spoilers or
What are we trying to spoil? What character?
is it? Wait, let me reread the question. Is it new characters or is it
Just if you could pick a unit that incorporated their devil fruit in their what would they what character would you like to see? So a character
I was
that
gonna
incorporates
say-
their devil fruit.
Gotcha. I was gonna say certain admiral.
Oh, that would be fucking cool.
Yeah, I feel like if we use that, we could like have it. Or I don't know actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, like
I think
might
it's
be
hard.
bad.
A lot of the
Yeah.
devil fruits don't translate too well to treasure cruise, if that makes sense.
What if they did like a lore character that could like maybe have something to do with captain swap, or if a debuff is inflicted to one of your characters, you could place it
put on
elsewhere
somebody
or
else?
something?
Yeah.
That'd be
So
interesting.
if
that'd
you
be cool.
if you got hit with like a despair, you could use the specific ability and you could move it to a sailor, but then it'll turn into like sailor despair or something like that. So it kind of gets switched up. You got like paralyzed, you can move the paralysis off you,
And then
move it onto
give
another
Lord
character.
make his special. So for 3 turns, give like a quote unquote Toki effect to certain characters, and then
Mhm.
you can like retarget debuffs to those characters so they're unaffected. Like that
Yep.
would be interesting as hell.
Or you could like do things with him, like you could move like special charges around or some shit, or you can move like abilities even. I don't know, like you could do some crazy shit with his ability. I reckon.
It's like you can steal cooldowns from characters and put it on other characters.
Yep. Or like you
That'd be
could steal
fascinating.
the special of a character on your crew and then use it for yourself on that unit.
Ooh, that would be pretty cool.
There we go. All right, there's a free lore legend, Bandai. You can have that one too.
That's
on the
so
house.
complex though.
No stress. Just put in the code. Easy money.
On the spaghetti code.
Easy as. All right. Nice. Next questione. Simbast. They ask, do you think we'll have a non-Gear 4 Luffy the New Year Sugo again? I guess that's asking, do you think we'll have a Luffy in the New Year Sugo this year?
I don't know. Like New Year's could literally be anything at this point.
Technically, maybe you could have a non-Gear 4 Luffy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't know if it's going to be up to that point, but we'll see.
No. Like, I think it's funny because last year we kind of already had a pretty good assumption about what the legend would be. Even the year before that, like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Odin has to be a legend, right?"
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting like the Super Sugo, and then the year before that, was like, "Oh yeah, Roger Whitebeard, oh that'd be a sick legend," and we ended up getting that. But then this year, like, I can't really think of
they
too
can't
much
do like Kaido and Luffy again. They just can't.
I don't see that being a thing. No,
I hope not.
and I don't think it's going to be spoiler stuff either. I just
No.
don't think we're not at that point yet.
Especially with the quote unquote, not backlash maybe, but the feedback from the JP people about spoiling and about things not like making sense. Like, I don't see them doing it anytime soon. So we'll have to wait and see.
So the way that I see it is, I feel like I think just as a prediction right now, I think the New Year's Sugo Fest will be outside of Wano, probably.
I hope so, in all honesty.
Like, I think they'll go back and look at another arc again or something.
New Year's Super Sugo Fest exclusive, Captain Kuro. Let's go.
Oh, let's go.
I'm fucking down. The
I mean,
first 6X unit.
They could do a lot of things. Like they could do a Super Sugo Katakuri. They could do a Super Sugo Dofi. They could do a Super Sugo like solo Whitebeard, or they could do an Admiral.
Yep. I'm surprised they haven't done Admirals as Super Sugo Fest units yet, to be honest.
Like a Whitebeard and an Akainu or something like that from a Marineford.
Not versus though, just two characters in the same.
Two solo. Yeah.
Two characters in the same. Not even a dual unit, just two characters.
Or if they did like an Akainu and then they did like a Whitebeard dual Ace or something, maybe.
So throw it back to Marineford type beat.
So yeah, something like that would be pretty
beyond
fun.
the grave.
Oh shit!
Beyond the grave, just the two graves of like Whitebeard. And that's the 6+.
That'd be kind of hard.
Or they could do and then maybe they do that for New Year's, and then then they do a part 2 New Year's, and then they do like Sengoku and Blackbeard or something.
There you go, Bandai. There's another idea for you.
I don't know. Who
Put
knows?
that in the coffer. We'll take our paycheck. I'll send the invoice. That one's not on the house. We'll send the invoice for that one. Next question from
Sure.
Omni. Yo, fellas. Other than the obvious answer, OPTC, what is the game that you believe you're the absolute best at? That's kind of sweet. Like, you can wipe the floor with anyone. What games are you guys good
Mario
at?
Kart.
Todd is a demon, and it fucking pisses me off. He's so damn good at Mario Kart. It's fucking fucked.
Yeah, that would be my only answer, I think.
What about you, Knight? What's your go-to flex game?
I don't know, honestly. Like, I honestly don't think there's a game that I would like consider myself the best. Like at Mario Kart, I'm like when I play with friends and stuff, I can kick ass. But then
Here we are.
sometimes
We might have a GGP
I'm
extra on the
Todd,
way.
probably. But you know,
We might have a
I
bit
can
of a
play it.
GGP extra on the way. Hold on.
yeah, I don't know, honestly.
I mean, you're really good at
Let's-
the Souls games.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call myself the best.
What about
Like
Pokemon?
maybe like
Like Showdown.
I don't know. I wouldn't even say like I would say I'm pretty good at it, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm the best. Like maybe like the mobile Injustice, I was pretty god tier at it, but that was like back in the day.
There we go. I don't think I have a
Yeah.
game either. I don't really know. I don't think I have anything on like multiplayer that I'd be a leader. I'm not very good at multiplayer. I'm not very good at games in general, to be honest. I'm just good at discussing them.
Yeah, fair.
That's fair.
I think as like a single player game, I'd say I'm pretty elite at Binding of Isaac. That's probably like one of the games I'm pretty confident with. And then completely tangential, get me in a quiz about flags, and I'll fucking put anyone in the dirt.
Like different flags around the world.
Yeah, country flags.
Oh,
I'll put anyone in the dirt.
yeah, you probably would.
What's the flag with the red circle in the middle?
Oh,
Bet you don't
shit.
know that one.
All right, next question from Japan. Next question from Colo. They ask, who would you consider to be the most underwhelming legend? I'm going to caveat that and say
Like of all time?
I guess, or we could caveat it for just this year.
This year, most underwhelming.
I would
I have a pick.
go for it.
Ulti.
Wow, that's a left field pick, but you're so right.
Ulti has been
You're
not
so-
needed for anything.
You're
and she's
so
just
correct.
like whole new levels of mid.
You're so right. Not even funny. I was gonna say the generic answer of Shanks, but he still holds his own. So I agree. Ulti, yep, I agree, boss man.
But like out of like all time
All
though,
time most underwhelming.
what's a
I would
character?
say for all time,
Yeah,
V2 Boa. Like she was ass when she came out. In my
That's
opinion.
not even a bad
Ass
shout.
with,
That's a great shout, actually.
6+.
She's
we'll,
never really
we'll have
been
to see
good.
what the level limit breaks. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's not even a bad call. She was never really good, like in any sense.
That's a great shout, lad. I'll tell you what.
I mean,
can't really see much
obvious
else.
answer would be Sengoku, but Sengoku was actually really good at
He
one
was
point.
clear
so-
though. Like he was the elite. You know, when he like
Other
had his
one,
time.
V2 Fuji.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's a good call, too.
yeah. That's a great call too.
Like
Yeah.
even some people might say Hawkins, but I think Hawkins is like
No, I
not- like,
disagree.
he's
Yeah.
usable.
I think Hawkins is not underrated, maybe underappreciated. Is
And
what
like Hawkins actually still has an okay support.
Yes, Hawkins support's fantastic.
Yeah.
Smoker maybe.
He's
I
not
don't know. His
good.
support's good.
I guess you're right. The
Yeah.
support kind of carries him pretty hard, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Halloween Shanks. Fuck that guy.
Oh my god.
And fuck
he's
Stump
so
too.
Yeah,
annoying.
he's a dick.
Yeah, fuck Stunt.
No, she thought it was about Halloween Shanksy. Not joking. Start ripping into whatever. That guy fucking stinks. Look at this. Look at him. Yeah. Wait, who are we talking about? Are we talking about Shanks or Stump?
Maybe even like this is a bit of a weird one, but like V1 Dogstorm wasn't really that good.
Yeah, that's pretty good
I
shout.
can get behind that.
That's pretty good shout, actually.
Yeah, he was good in Rumble when Rumble first came out.
Yep, he was scary. He was a menace.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's a good shout. I like it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, and the final question, as per usual, our boy Cody. Hey guys, as always, thank you for the work that you do. Unfortunately, I don't have much in the way of questions this week. We're currently on hurricane watch in my part of Canada. So between battening down the hatches and making sure we don't get blown away, it's been a week, lol. Here are some food questions. Food ones to keep you busy. Which is better, jam or marmalade?
Jam.
Jam. All right, we're all on the same page. He said jam as well. Pretzel or regular bun? Regular as well. He said pretzels are good, but nothing beats a regular bun that is a bit toasted. Do you guys toast your buns?
Great.
Pause on that one.
Hey, yo, I mean, if I got the time to do it, I'd love to. It tastes better.
Yeah.
I've had a few people say to me, if you toast the bun and then you put sauce on it, it makes it worse.
No, that's the
Exactly.
point of toasting it.
I was like, are you a psychopath? I was like, are you actually a psychopath? I don't know.
Weird.
And then he wraps it up by saying, thanks as always, gents. And the dessert tier list is approximately between 68 and 70% complete. Somewhere in between there. Okay,
yeah.
so... All right. Get a load of this guy over here, motherfucker.
Well, hopefully the hurricane doesn't hit you too bad.
Yeah, fingers crossed everything is all good. Fingers crossed there. But that does it for us. Another GGP ep in the books. Episode 77 done. And again, I want to apologize. We're recording this super early, or a lot earlier than we normally would. But, thank you to my crew and thank you to the people listening as well. We do appreciate you guys very, very much. As per usual, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have the means, you hit the join button and help us out financially too. We greatly appreciate it. Whilst you're down there, you can go into the description and find our Linktree link. That is linktr.ee/goodgreatperfect. You can find all of our social media platforms there, that being Twitter, twitter.com/goodgreat. I didn't say that. I've never said that in my entire life. Why did I say it now? In 3 years, I've done that. Twitter @GGP Podcast, you numpty. And then you can find us on anchor.fm/greatperfect. You can find us on all the major streaming platforms, that being Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. Whilst you're also down there, make sure you go to all of our social media links. That would be Captain Papi, Nightmare JP, Flamevius, and Toski. Go follow us, like, subscribe, send us money. I don't know, do all that kind of fun stuff. We really do appreciate it. With that being said, gents, episode 77 in the books. Another one done. And we will talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.